Good evening. Good evening. You know, do I want these headphones on? And I'll keep them on for now. Good evening, family. Welcome back to another edition of Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt's D. Talford. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Welcome back. Listen, as we wait for some people to come in and join, I want to first of all thank those of you that are returning subscribers. You guys know you guys are the axles to the wheel. You guys are the axles in the wheel. I'm the engine, but you guys are the axle in the wheel. You know, if you're the axles in the wheels, then the car moves. If what good is an engine running with no axle and no wheels, right? So I thank y'all, my returning subscribers. You guys show up every time there's a party here at Maddie's Rap, and I greatly appreciate you guys. To the moon and back, since we're talking about the moon tonight. And if you're new to the channel, thank you for joining. What is up, Bernadette? Thank you for joining. Bernadette, you're gonna mess around and get the first person to class award here. You're popping in here early. I appreciate it. So again, if you're new, thank you for finding the title and the thumbnail interesting enough to want to pop in and see what we're talking about tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about the new moon in Cancer. Okay, those of you that have been following me for a while, you know that twice a month we're doing moon videos. We do new moons on the new moons, and 2 weeks later we're covering the full moon. So tonight we're going to be talking about the new moon in Cancer. Now, the moon doesn't officially move into Cancer until tomorrow, but I wanted to get ahead of the curve this week, y'all, because y'all know I have been busy lately, super busy. This is a publishing summer for me. That is the goal that I set for myself. And I was like, look, we're going to get it done this year. No more excuses. So we're getting it done. Thank y'all for being here. As always, we got 4 people. I see 4 people in the chat right now. As always, I'm going to start y'all off with some music, and I'm going to step away and do what I do. It's just a routine. It allows me to step away, get some water, get a towel, you know, because these lights in this office are extremely hot. And, you know, even though I got the air on, it hit about 102 today where I live. So the heat is not playing. Mother Nature is not playing with anybody this year. Now, I'm built for it, but if I'm going to take the heat, I think sometimes I'd rather be outside, you know, with the breeze blowing and, you know, the option to move in and out of the shade. I don't mind being outside in the heat, y'all. I really don't. I just don't like the bugs. That's the one thing I do not like about the summertime. I don't like flies. I don't like mosquitoes. I don't like yellow jackets, wasps, all of those things that you see in the summertime that you don't have to deal with in the winter. Plus, I'm a winter baby, so I like the cooler temperatures a little bit better. But I'm flexible. I'm easy. Not super cool, like ideal for me, fam. I don't know about y'all. By the way, on your way in, tap that like button for me. It's going to alert more people and let them know that we're live. I don't know about y'all, but for me, the ideal location would be someplace that is nearby the ocean that has, I don't know, year-round temperatures between. Well, you know what? No, I do like all of my seasons, but if my summer, you know, temperatures are between, the highs are between 78 and 83, 84, somewhere around in there. That's perfect. I don't want my heat to get above 85. 83 is perfect for me. Somewhere between 78 to 83 is nice. I can go out, wear summer clothes without sweating or getting sticky or being super hot, that sort of thing. So anyway, thank y'all for being here. Let me go ahead and play some music while other people are joining in. She said, I'm a little more south than you, so it was pretty hot here too. Yeah, brutal today, brutal. So let me get some music started, y'all, and then I'm gonna step away, get my ice water, which I prepped, but I didn't bring here into the room. So let me get some music started for y'all. We're going to step away. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author and storyteller Matt D. Talbot. Thank you for being here. We're talking about the new moon in Cancer tonight and talking about what you can expect and how you might be wanting to direct your intentions and your intention setting and your manifestations and during this particular portal. All right? I'll be right back with y'all, family.
don't know what you did to me, but I'm not saying I'm not saying. Since you gave me nothing shelter from the rain, you just don't know how you make me feel. Don't we love it? Girl, it's so unreal. I got love desire. With your love, my soul's on fire. Turn up for the cloud. Shout out loud. Just the one you need. With your love by my side, the world will be mine. Just the one you need. I'm riding on the cloud to shout it out loud. You're my own. Baby, hold on tight for the rest of my life. Don't let me fall. Just don't know what you did to me, but I'm not saying. I'm not saying. Since you gave me love and shelter from the rain, you just don't know how you make me feel. Your sweet love, you're so unreal. I got love desire from your love. My soul's on fire. Turn up on the cloud, shout out loud. The one you need. Your love by my side, the world will be mine. The one you need. Turn up on the cloud, shout out loud. The one you need. Your love by my side, the world will be mine. The one you need.
Yeah. All right, family, let's take it down. All right, everybody, what's going on, family? Thank y'all for being here tonight. Thank y'all for being here. All right, let me go ahead and take the music on all the way out, and we're gonna get this party started, y'all. The quicker we get started, the quicker we get off of here. Got 8 people in the chat. That's a good enough time to stop. Well, what we got here, family? What we got here? Now, y'all, I've been it's been hectic here lately. I don't know about y'all. Some of y'all have been losing sleep. I'm not really losing sleep, but waking up in the middle of the night, y'all, dreaming a lot, traveling a lot. Some of them dreams feel like you wake up and you feel like, yeah, I was just there. You know what I mean? So you wake up tired because you're like, I just feel like I just left somewhere and I didn't get any sleep. Like I went to bed because I was tired, and as soon as I closed my eyes, I traveled somewhere and was doing whatever I was doing there, and then it's like the lights coming through the window and I'm back. So y'all put a thumbs up in the chat if y'all feeling that. So what is up, y'all? Who else we got in the chat here? What we got here? Karen, what's up? Thank you for joining. Master Damas, thank you for joining. That's a new name I haven't seen there. Karen, thank you for joining. Of course, Tora Girl, thank you for being here. Space Self, thank you for being here. He said I could never go to the clubs these days because they aren't going to play jams like this, among other reasons. Exactly. Yeah, they don't play the old school stuff anymore. Like this new stuff. Yeah. The artists back then, the artists could sing and play the instruments, so they were in tune. They were in sync with what they had going on. A lot of the stuff today is a little bit too electronic for me. You got a little bit too much auto tune. You got the echo mics that are making people who can sing sound phenomenal with the echo mics. But I've heard people that sound really good singing in those mics that have that high reverb, that echo, and then you hear them singing without the microphone, and you're like, dang, I thought you could actually sing, no disrespect, but I'm like, look, if you need that equipment to make you look good, then you probably need to work on your game. That's just me. But anyway, who else? That's the vibe, Space Self. Yeah, I like my old school stuff, 70s, 80s, 90s, a little bit into the 2000s, and then after that, it sort of drops off. There's still some good artists out there putting out good music now, I like some of the neo soul, like your Cleo Souls of the world, and who else? Almost said Space Elf. Space Elf, you got a record out there? Alex Isley. I like Alex Isley. I like a little bit of Daniel Caesar. Her is a throwback. Her is a throwback because she plays the instruments and she sings, and she's got a beautiful singing voice. So you got some artists out there that are doing it, but the music industry is pushing a lot of trash too. So you gotta pick through it like you're picking through a clearance sale when you're selecting music nowadays. That's just me. What's up, Licious Booty? We got Licious Booty in the house. Let's see. Tora Girl again. We got Jojo Mac. What's up, brother? What's up? And yeah, that's everybody. We ready to go, y'all. Be sure you tap that like button on the way in. So I am going to grab a sheet of paper. I thought I had it because I want to write down my timestamps. So y'all give me a second. Let's see. Let's just grab one out of the printer. I'm going to read the copy from the description box. And we're going to get this party started because, y'all, I got to tell y'all, this is a very powerful new moon, especially for the people that have moon in Cancer. I'm one of them. And the interesting thing is, the new moon is about manifestations and intention setting. And of course, the full moon is about gratitude and receiving whatever the gifts are. But sometimes with the new moons, they end up transiting and being conjunct with some very powerful planets that help to amplify the signal. And let me tell you, the most powerful signal amplifier out there is Jupiter. And this particular new moon in Cancer is special because, first of all, not only is it a new moon in a sign of, I'm gonna quiz y'all really quick. Y'all been watching me for a while. I'm gonna quiz y'all really quick. Somebody put in the chat, answer this question as I'm speaking. Is question number one, is the moon feminine energy or masculine energy? Put that in there. That's question number one. All right. Question one, is the moon masculine or feminine energy? Okay. And then question number two, is the sign of Cancer masculine or feminine energy? Y'all pop that in the answer. Y'all pop that in the chat for me. All right. No prizes to give out right away right now, but I'll tell you what, y'all, I am super excited about this book. This book is literally writing itself. I don't even know how I ended up with as much content with the word count that I have right now. And for those of y'all that don't know, a lot of people ask me, "Oh, how many pages does this book have?" Let me give, for those of you who don't know how the publishing industry works, how the book industry works, it's not so much about the page count as it is the word count. The word count is what counts. Okay. Why is that? It's because your page sizes can vary, right? So if I got, let's just to throw a round number out there. If I have 500 words and I've got those 500 words on an 8.5 by 11, I'm going to have fewer pages than if I've got those 500 words on a 4 by 6. So it's all about word count, family. It's not really the page count. Just wanted to let y'all know. I had to learn that once I published my first book, and because I wasn't aware of it either. But now, hopefully, I tipped somebody off and gave you a little bit of something that you can use if you didn't know it. So anyway, but yeah, I don't know how I ended up with the word count that I'm at right now. I'll tell y'all, this book is literally being written by my higher self. This book is being written from the spirit realm because what I got now is not what I started with. So I'm super excited about it. I really am. And once that book is finished, maybe some of these quizzes will be about maybe I'll go back to doing some giveaways. So anyway, feminine. Yep, y'all got it. Sir Bierdito. Sir Bierdito. Is that Spanish? I hope I'm saying that right. Sir Bierdito. That is correct. It is feminine. Cancer is feminine, and so is the moon. So why is that important? It's important because if you look at what's going on in the world right now, those of you who saw my last two lives, my live this past Sunday and then a week ago on Monday night, a week ago, what was the live a week ago, y'all? The dark side is spazzing out. If you can't look at the headlines and see that the dark side is spazzing out, you're asleep. They are spazzing out right now. Like they're going haywire. They're short circuiting. So that is a great segue into why this particular lunar transit is so important. This lunar transit is ushering in some fresh and much needed feminine energy to balance out that low vibrational masculine energy that's running rampant right now. And it's got to run its course. It has got to run its course. But y'all, I tell you, everything is about divine timing. Even the divine, because of the divine clock that he set up a long time ago, the divine knew that in this particular season that we're in 2025, the world was going to be going crazy. And guess what? Guess what was set up in advance of this? I'm talking thousands of years ago, eons ago. This clock, y'all, this clock moves. It keeps moving. Each one of those planetary energies is a hand on a celestial clock. That's what y'all got to know. Each one of those celestial energies is a hand on a celestial, or each one of those planetary energies is a hand on a celestial clock. Take, for example, the regular standard clock that we look at on the wall. And I'm talking about an analog clock, not a digital. The analog clock has what? It's got 3 needles, or 3 arms, if you will, or hands, if you will. The second hand is the fastest moving. Okay. And then you got the minute hand that moves a little bit slower. And then you got the hour hand that moves a little bit slower. And then guess what? If you've got an analog clock with a date or calendar or date type of apparatus on it, that's going to move, once every 24 hours. So the hour hand moves once an hour. The minute hand moves once every 60 seconds. And then the second hand, y'all know that moves once every second. So yeah, that's how these things work. Pluto is like the hour hand, so to speak. It's the slowest moving. And then as you come in, Neptune moves a little bit faster than Pluto. And then Uranus moves a little bit faster than Neptune, Saturn a little bit faster than Uranus, Jupiter a little bit faster than Saturn, Mars a little bit faster than Jupiter, Venus a little bit faster than Mars. And then you've got Mercury is the fastest moving, okay? It moves a little bit faster than Venus. And then, of course, you got the sun or the moon that moves, it takes, 30 days to cycle, if you will. And I know different people have different things. Some people say the moon moves at 28-day cycles. Others say that the moon changes signs every 2.5 days. That has been my observation. But you go with whatever you want. I'm not here trying to convince anybody of anything. And then, of course, the sun is like the second hand. It's just like that. So that's how these things work. This divine timing transit was set up a long time ago, y'all, so that the feminine energy that we're getting with this particular lunar transit is serving to balance out this hyper active masculine energy that has all of these wars and all of this conflict erupting around the planet. So let me read the copy in the description box as I do when I write some, and then we'll move on into I got some notes. I got a little thesis I wrote up front, and then we're going to end by running through the houses, and depending on the time permitting, I know y'all be like, Matt, what you mean time permitting? You've done 3.5, 4-hour videos on here. It all depends on how I'm feeling, right? And y'all, I've had a busy week. I really haven't had a day off this week, so I've been kind of running nonstop trying to get my projects done. But anyway, so depending on how I'm feeling after I'm done going through the houses, I may focus on the 4th house and then run through all of the signs in the 4th house. Why the 4th house is because the 4th house is ruled by Cancer. So your 4th house is going to be affected by this new moon, as well as whatever house you have Cancer in. Okay. And now let me read the copy in the description box. And y'all, because my eyes are tired, I may put on my I'm going to try to go without these readers, because when you put them on and then take them off, it's worse. So let's see. In this live stream, or in tonight's live stream, we will talk about the implications of this tropical lunar transit. Why tropical, Matt? Because tropical is opposite Vedic. I don't do Vedic. I'm not a Vedic astrologer. I have a world of respect for the Vedic astrologers, but the Vedic / Eastern / sidereal astrology system is prevalent in the Eastern hemisphere of the earth, if you will, and it deals with it moves differently. Tropical is based on the sun, and then the Vedic is based on the moon and the fixed positions of the constellation. So it's a little bit different system, but don't ever let anybody tell you that tropical is not accurate, Vedic is, or vice versa. They both are the same. In fact, if I can find that video that I looked at some time ago that the guy gave a great example. It was a teacher. It was a collegiate professor of astrology, and I think it was astrology or something. But anyway, he had a debate from he had 2 of his students who were debating on which system was better and which one was more accurate. So he gave them some sort of project, and what they both arrived at was the same conclusion. It was presented differently under the 2 different systems, but it came up with the same conclusion. So whenever you see a Vedic astrology prediction, for example, in Vedic astrology, the moon is not in Cancer, it's in Gemini. It's in Gemini if you're looking at it through the Vedic lens, which is not wrong. But I like to focus on the tropical. That's just my preference, okay? Now, in tropical, the moon is in, this is a new moon in Cancer. Okay. So typically, what the differences you're going to see is whatever sign we have going on, sun sign, moon sign, whatever, with the tropical system, the Vedic is going to be one sign behind that. That's kind of how that, just as a general, dirty rule of thumb, that's how that works. Anyway, let me get back to the copy description box. In this live stream, we will talk about the implications of this tropical lunar transit, including the effect that it will have on our hearts, our homes, and the world. And as always, we will go through all 12 astrological houses and tell you how to maximize your new moon intention setting based on your natal chart. Thank you. And then again, for my new people watching right now, if you haven't done so, please tap that like button on your way in. It really helps out the channel, and it helps the algorithm push out, hey, Matt's live, he's on, because not everybody gets their notifications all the time or whatever, but it really helps when you guys hit that like button. It just notifies more people. Now, let me open up my notes and see if they're legible. Let's see. Okay, new moon in Cancer. What is special? Let's talk about what's special about this new moon. I just talked about it. This particular new moon in the sign of Cancer is conjunct. When you have a conjunction in astrology, it means you have two or more planets, aka energies, in the same astrological sign. So, what's special about this one? The moon is conjunct Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. That is a wonderful, wonderful transit. Okay. Why? Because Jupiter is the amplifier of the zodiac. Jupiter is all about expansion. It's all about expansion. It's all about amplification. It is considered the benefactor. I like to call it Daddy Jupiter. I like to call it Daddy Warbucks. Y'all know Matt calls Jupiter Daddy and Saturn Mama. Why? Your daddy gonna give you, especially if you're a girl, right? Your dad, if you're a boy, he might be a little bit tougher on you. I don't know why that is, right? Moms tend to be a little bit sweeter on their sons and a little tougher on their daughters, and then dads tend to be sweeter on their daughters and tougher on their sons. But anyway, I'm digressing. Daddy, Jupiter's like that rich daddy. Whatever you want, I got you. Here, don't even worry about it. I got it. Your mama, she got it too, but she gonna make you do something to earn it. Mama gonna make you do some chores. That's Saturn. But we're talking about Jupiter tonight, and Jupiter is the amplifier. So whatever Cancerian energy you're dealing with, whatever house you have Cancer in, you can expect to get it, the energy of that particular area of your life, amplified by this new moon transit. You can expect to get it amplified. Why? Because it's sitting in there with Jupiter. So Jupiter's going to take it. Jupiter, I like to call, is the force multiplier. I like to call it, y'all ever play those video games where you hit a certain icon or something like that, and it's like 3x, and you're like, or if you go to the casino and you play the slots or whatever you do, you hit that little amplifier and then it sends those wheels spinning crazy and you get all this bonus stuff. That's what's happening right now with this lunar transit. That is what's happening with the moon in Cancer conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. It is a beautiful, beautiful transit, and it is so needed because we need the amplification of that energy, that feminine energy, that soft Cancerian. Now, Cancers ain't soft. Don't let me walk that back a little bit. Of all of the water signs, people talk about Scorpios. Like, you see these different videos, and they talk about top 5 vengeful or top meanest zodiac signs or whatever. Somehow Scorpio always ends up in the top 3. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. You would probably rather make a Scorpio mad than a Cancer. Any Cancer people I'm watching right now, y'all already know. First of all, Cancer is a cardinal sign. That's like the general. Okay, the cardinal signs are like the generals. The fixed signs are like the sergeants, the non-commissioned officers, and the mutable signs are like you can, depending on how you want to look at it, they can be an executive officer, which is an assistant to a commanding officer, or you can look at it as the foot soldiers. Okay, but sometimes you can look at the fixed signs as foot soldiers too, because they carry out tasks or whatever. So it's all in how you want to look at it. But I'm here to tell you, I know Cancers that will clap on you quicker than a Scorpio will. So don't get Cancer twisted as being soft. It's got a hard shell in those claws for a reason. But on the flip side, that interior is that soft, gushy, good, gushy, sweet meat. Okay, don't take that the wrong place. Somebody watching, all right? Don't go the wrong. Don't take that south. All right, let's stay out of the gutter tonight. Anyway, so that, but getting back to my point, we need that soft feminine energy in the earth right now to balance out this hyperactive angry masculine energy that's tearing up the planet right now. All right. Secondly, Cancerian energy is empathic, so it is able to feel. It feels, especially if you're a Cancer moon. Cancer moon is arguably the number one moon sign to have. Why? Because the moon is at home in the sign of Cancer, and Cancer is the sign of the empath, so it's able to feel. The moon rules over the emotions. So when you have that empathic energy of Cancer as your moon sign, you can feel like nobody's business. You can feel more powerfully than a Cancer sun can. So the energy of Cancer is actually it's empathic, but it's also called the empathic healer. All the water signs are healers, they just do it differently. Cancer heals by absorbing energy and then transmuting it. Scorpio is able to transmute it off rip. They're the transmuters. They're the alchemists of the zodiac. And Pisces rules over the subconscious. So Pisces gets into that psyche. They know things without you telling them, and they able. A lot of your counselors and your psychiatrists and such they have a lot of Piscean placements. They're able to get in there and communicate with you. Pisces is on that axis with Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So if you meet a Pisces, you're going to meet a person that can hold you captive in a conversation, just like with the Virgo. So that's Pisces superpower. They're able to know what it is that you're going through, able to help you navigate that subconscious mind, and through conversation they can bring up what needs to come out so that it can be healed. But we're talking about Cancer tonight. Cancer heals by absorbing. So all praises to the Most High. All thanks to the universal I am presence, whatever you like to call that universal energy that is and that was and that shall be and that is everywhere. Okay, in all things, the energy that's inside of us and outside of us. However you label it, that's fine by me. You get no arguments over here. Okay, but I want to express first the gratitude to that universal energy for setting us up at this time with this particular transit, because this Cancer energy is going to absorb and take the edge off of some of that energy so that it can be transmuted and healed. Okay. Cancer moons, y'all know you absorb energy and then you got to get away from people for a while, because what does a sponge do? A dry sponge soaks up water until it can't soak up anymore. And then it has to be wrung out and sit somewhere so it can dry. The wringing out and then drying is the healing process. This is why sometimes you see Cancers, especially Cancer moons, they go ghost mode. For my tarot people, they go hermit mode for a little bit. They go Four of Swords energy. They're not being antisocial. They're getting away so they can heal and bounce back so that they can go out and do what it is that they do again. And by the way, Cancer moons don't typically look for people to heal. The people that need healing somehow energetically find that Cancer moon. They just find them. So that is what it is. And Cancer suns too. I'm not leaving y'all out, but the Cancer moon energy is a little bit more powerful healer because the moon rules over our emotions. So again, what's special about this particular new moon is that it is going to give us a fresh energy of healing. Now, there is a caveat. Because the moon rules over the emotions and Cancer is an emotional energy. It's an emotional sign. What do I always say here, y'all? Especially for those of you with Piscean placements, keep your emotional vibrational frequency high. Why? Because this moon is sitting conjunct with Jupiter, which is the amplifier. Guess what that means? That means if your emotions are low, negative, they're going to be amplified. I just got to give you that one. I got to give it to you real. I'm not giving it to you the way you want to hear it. I'm giving it to you the way you need to hear it. Okay. So keep your emotions high because Jupiter is a multiplier. So if you're in high emotions, Jupiter's going to amplify that signal. Guess what? When whatever emotional frequency you are vibrating at, the universe is listening. And if you're there for a while, if you're there for long enough, the universe is going to say, oh, they like being at that emotional frequency. So they're telling me to send them more stuff to keep them at that frequency. Y'all hear me repeat that a lot. I'm not going to stop repeating it. Because it's important that you know it. Okay. So now, the next thing I wanted to ask here is, could this be a signal of a seed being planted by the universe for the rebirth of divine feminine healing in the planet? Y'all can answer that in the chat. I'm going to answer it for you right now. I think it is. Again, the question is, could this particular lunar transit be a signal of a seed being planted by the universe for the rebirth of divine feminine healing in this planet? I think that seed has to be planted. Y'all know what happens during the new moon. Whatever sign the new moon is in, 6 months later, the full moon is going to be in that sign. So by December, we're going to have a full moon in Cancer. Guess what? If you plant whatever seeds you plant tonight, they're going to come to fruition within the next 6 months. We need that. We need it. So we're going to plant some positive seeds tonight, right? The world is going crazy right now. The dark side is spazzing out. But guess what? If you're watching this channel, you more than likely are one of the people that carry the light. And that's why you're here. So we are going to plant positive light seeds that are going to come to bear within 6 months, because we're going to need that healing. All right. Why? We've got Neptune and Saturn in the sign of Aries right now, which is about war. So this is wartime, y'all. It's wartime. We're getting a little bit of a break in the action. I've heard two of my favorite astrologers say this. Joni Petrie, Vedic astrologer, Sylvia Suryodaya, Vedic astrologer, and then you have my favorite tropical astrologer right now, Pam Gregory. They're all saying the same thing. Things are going to cool off for a brief. It's almost like the eye of the storm. We're entering that eye right now. Donald Trump called this ceasefire thing, and they still blew up some stuff this morning, but they're giving the appearance like, okay, look, y'all, we want to stop doing this to each other, but it's temporary. All of these astrologers that do the long range stuff that I don't do, that I watch and trust because they don't miss, they said this is going to be a temporary break, and then they're going right back to tearing up. Okay, so the seeds that we plant tonight here are going to come to bear. So I need each and every one you watching to plant a positive seed based on where you have Cancer, what house you have Cancer in your chart. Okay, now I want to say this. There are some people that are going to feel this energy a little bit more and have a little bit more manifestation capability because you have a special placement in your natal chart. First of all, I already said one of them. If you're a Cancer moon, this is going to be an even more powerful transit for you than perhaps someone with a different moon sign. Why? Because the moon is at home in your the moon is right now in your natal, or it's moving into. This is the day before, right? So we're moving into that new moon in Cancer. I don't know what day you're watching this video, if you're watching it on demand. But if you are a Cancer moon, this energy is going to be amplified for you. Now, let me say this before I move forward. The full moons are about full illumination. So we see clearly with that full moon. When it's a new moon, you look up in that sky during the new moon, you don't even see that sliver that comes, a day or two, 3 days after that new moon. It's nothing. The sky's black. It's dark. You go outside during a full moon at night in a place where there are no city lights or no street lights, no house lights. It's dark. You can't see. What does that mean? That means depending on what sign that moon is in and what house you have that sign, what house you have that sign in, you could get something unexpected. You could bump into something. You could see the appearance of something that you weren't expecting, that you didn't see coming. That happens sometimes during new moons. I'm going to share my story when I get to the 10th house. I'm a 10th house Cancer, okay? But I'm also a Cancer moon, and so that energy was amplified. Again, I'm going to share that when I get to going through the houses. So I wanted to say that. One, if you have a Cancer moon, this particular transit is going to be a little bit more powerful, a little bit more special for you. Two, if you have a what's the other one? If your moon is in the 9th house. If your moon is in the 9th house, why? Because the 9th house is ruled by Jupiter. The 9th house is ruled by Jupiter. So if your moon is in the 9th house, guess what? Jupiter is also in Cancer, and Cancer rules the moon. So that's going to be a little bit more, a little bit more amplification for you if your moon is in the 9th house. You got to check your natal chart. It doesn't matter. I don't care what your moon sign is. If your moon is in the 9th house, this one is going to hit different too. Thirdly, if you have Sagittarius in your 4th house. Why? Because the 4th house is ruled by what? Cancer, which is ruled by the moon. So you got that going on. Sagittarius is ruled by the planet Jupiter. So if Jupiter, in effect, then becomes your 4th house ruler, why? Because you have Sagittarius in the 4th house, then you're going to see an amplification of this energy as well. Okay? So I wanted to get those out of the way. Remember those. If you've got any of those placements in your natal chart, you probably are already seeing some stuff happening today that has to deal with that energy of Cancer, which is the energy of the healer, the energy of the nurturer. I've been in that energy all day today, y'all. I got up this morning with my mind to finish because my book is almost done. It is almost done. I'm done with the main draft. I'm running through. I'm in the editorial process right now. I got up this morning with the intent to finish it. I'm like, okay, I can knock this out today. And I ended up in doing Cancerian stuff. I ended up doing 10th house Cancerian stuff. And I'm doing 10th house Cancerian stuff right now. So at about right around about 2:30, 3 o'clock, I got another contact and I was like, oh man, you know what? Something is telling me I don't need to work on the book today. I need to focus on these people that need my attention. So let me deal with them. Let me focus on them. One of them is a family member. And I don't want to get too much into details, but I was like, let me see what they need. Let me see what they need. I can put my work aside for a day. I already know I knew what it was. This is why you want to know your personal chart. And this is why you want to understand a little bit about astrology transits, especially with the moon. Why? Because the moon is the governor of the emotions. So I wanted to get those things out of the way. Now, before we move forward, let's see. Masculine energy, of course, protects and provides. Feminine energy heals and nurtures. So those of you that answered feminine, you understand then why this is important. This is some healing and nurturing energy. Okay. Now, also, I said, could this be the universe planting a seed to disrupt? Watch this, y'all. I've been watching a lot of videos on artificial intelligence. Now, I might lose some of y'all on this. Don't get angry. I know there's a lot of people out there that use ChatGPT and a lot of these other AI platforms. But I asked the question today as I was taking these notes. Could this also be, with this particular powerful lunar transit, could this also be the universe planting a seed? Remember, we plant the new moons are about intention setting. Could this be the universe planting a seed to disrupt artificial intelligence? Matt, why'd you ask that? What's that got to do with the moon? Let's talk about what AI really is, y'all. Let's talk about what that really is. First and foremost, let me ask y'all, let me move this over so I can look at the chat and see what's going on. How many of y'all get excited about artificial food products? Y'all answer that in the chat while I'm going through and looking at some of these comments. How many of y'all get excited about artificial food products? All right. How many of y'all get excited about artificial food products? If you like artificial flavoring, artificial coloring, if you like fake food, put a thumbs up in the chat. I want to know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's something to like about it other than flavor that when you have real flavor, the fake flavor starts to go away. She said, never. I try to avoid at all cost. Never. I try to avoid at all cost. Okay. Exactly. You don't get excited about that, right? Next, what is plastic? Plastic is what? It is technically, I got a plastic bottle right here. I can't talk. I mean, plastic is everywhere. Somebody said, not at all. Not at all. Exactly. No one, Bella said. No one. Exactly. So plastic is what? It's artificial glass. It's artificial, virtually unbreakable glass. All right. I don't get excited about plastic either. It's just kind of hard to avoid. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. Like you can't, it's difficult to go in the store. When I was a kid back in the 70s, back in the days when they didn't have a lot of plastic bottles, you went to the store, you got a Coke, Pepsi, Sprite, whatever. It was in a glass bottle. It was either in a glass bottle or an aluminum can. Now there's plastic everywhere, but plastic is artificial glass. Okay. Doesn't the water taste better when you drink it out of a glass? It does. You come in on a hot day and you want some ice cold water. You're not reaching for your plastic tumbler. If you have them, you're reaching for that glass and putting a couple of ice cubes in it and putting you some crystal clear, clean, purified or spring water in that. Why? Because it tastes better. You're still going to get hydrated, but for some reason it tastes better coming out of that glass. Why? Because glass is real. Plastic is artificial glass. Now, on to the ladies. Ladies, no offense. If this is you, I ain't mad at you. You do what you do to beautify yourself. But I'm going to say this. The majority of men, at least the ones I know, still prefer, when given a choice, natural top and natural bottoms to the artificial ones, especially on the bottoms. All right. I'm trying to keep it clean tonight because I don't know who's watching. Anyway, also, how many women have been injured or worse by undergoing BBL surgery? A lot of them. A lot of them get the BBL and it don't even look right. Guys be like, That one over there ain't as round, but it's natural, so it's gonna be softer. Give me that. I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. Most men prefer natural female body parts to artificial ones. If you're getting surgery to add stuff, it's artificial. No, no, I mean, no offense, do you? If that makes you happy, it makes me happy. Whatever makes you happy makes me happy. Seriously, like as long as you ain't doing nothing wicked and harming nobody. If you're doing something to enhance yourself and it makes you happy, I'm happy. Why? Because you're happy. But I'm just saying, most guys prefer natural to artificial. So now that brings me back to artificial intelligence. The point I'm making is that there is an existential risk to the body and the mind whenever you deal with artificial products. There's an existential risk. Are you eat enough artificial food? It's going to raise your blood pressure, raise your blood sugar, something. All right. Artificial sugar is what? High fructose corn syrup. Deadly. If you want sweetener, use sugar. Natural. Those artificial ones, they come with side effects. So if there's an existential risk to the body and mind whenever you deal with artificial products, why do we get so excited about artificial intelligence? So I'm gonna talk about what it really is now. Wisdom, y'all gonna love this. Yeah, I've been setting y'all up from the beginning. All right, I asked you what type of energy the moon was. I asked you which energetic polarity the moon was, which energetic polarity the sign of Cancer was. Y'all answered feminine. I've been setting y'all up from the beginning. We going somewhere with this. Wisdom and intelligence are feminine energies, both of them. This is why y'all saw me on my last live 2 days ago or 2 nights ago. I read Proverbs chapter 4. It describes wisdom as her. I'm not gonna pull it up here tonight because I want to kind of keep this flowing, and that's not in my notes or my program flow. But if you read Proverbs chapter 4, it describes wisdom as her. Wisdom is a feminine energy. Intelligence, fellas, don't get offended, don't get in your feelings. Everybody's got masculine and feminine energy. Intelligence is a feminine energy. It is. You ever wonder why girls' grades in grade school tend to be better than guys? Oh man, because guys ain't paying attention. We talking about sports and stuff, and we looking at the girls. That's a byproduct of the fact that wisdom and intelligence are feminine energies. So the truth is, pound for pound, women's grades tend to be better in college too. Why? Because wisdom and intelligence are feminine energies. They're not masculine. All right. So, fellas, when you're smart, when you're wise, when you're intelligent, you're gifted in your feminine energy. Why? That wisdom. First of all, you got emotional intelligence. That's a product of the heart chakra. That's feminine. But then you got your regular type of intelligence and wisdom. That's a product of the mind. Where's the mind? Which chakra zone does the mind sit in? The sixth chakra. The sixth chakra, aka third eye chakra. That's a feminine energy zone. So wisdom and intelligence are feminine energies. They're not masculine. Now, when you look at artificial intelligence, what is it really beneath the surface? It's artificial feminine energy. What is artificial feminine energy? I ain't talking about like the body enhancements. I ain't talking about the boob enhancements or the BBLs. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about beneath the surface. If you're talking about artificial intelligence, it is dark masculine energy. It's artificial feminine energy. Anything that's artificial feminine energy is technically masculine energy, which was, in my opinion, this AI, this artificial intelligence was created to suppress the return and the rise of the divine feminine. The divine feminine is cosmically scheduled to this whole realm is shifting. The whole cosmos is shifting. The earth energy is shifting. Y'all that saw my video that I did about 2 years ago, titled "Was the Return of the Divine Feminine Prophesied in Scripture?" I did that video. You can find it on my channel. Maybe I'll link it in this video in the comments or something after this is done. But the title of that video was the return of the divine feminine prophesied in Scripture? Yes, it was. All right. For those of y'all that never saw that video, I'm gonna go off script for a minute here. Let me go off script and let me find what chapter, what scripture I based that on. Give me a second here, fam. I think it came from Jeremiah. Let me go there real quick. I wasn't planning on doing any scripture tonight, but I want y'all to see this because we're going somewhere with this. Once I'm done with this section, we're going to go through the houses and we'll be done. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Let's see. Let's see. Where was this? Was it in the 31st, I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. Jeremiah 31 and 22. Let me share this to the screen. Okay. Let me make sure you can see that on the screen because sometimes this app trips. It's there. Okay. Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. I did a deep dive on that in that video. But compass in the Bible typically has two meanings that it carries. It either means to surround or to protect. Now, you can surround something to attack it, or you can surround something to protect it. In that particular context, and in my video breakdown, it meant protect. When would you ever see a woman protecting a man? She's not protecting him physically, but she can. I'm not saying it can't happen. I mean, we know about the homie fighters back in the day or whatever that went and helped with the Haitian Revolution. I'm not talking about that. But when you watch shows like the one of my favorites on Amazon Prime Video, The Wheel of Time, you have these powerful spiritually gifted women called Aes Sedai, and they have these gifts where they're able to use their spiritual abilities to manipulate the elements and protect the male fighters. The men protect them. Why? Because when they're using these spiritual gifts, they get physically tired after a while. They get weak. How many of y'all meditate? How many of y'all use? How many of y'all do Reiki and stuff like that? How many of you are energy healers? How many of you just have prayed for other people or done things like intercessory prayer? And I don't mean that in a religious sense, because y'all know I'm a religious now. Like, I don't consider myself. I don't subscribe to any Western religion or any Eastern religion. I'm just here. I exist. That's all. That's pure spirituality. That's me understanding that I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. Okay. Um, but for those of you who have done intercessory prayer, where you're pretty much manifesting for someone and focusing, that's all intercessory prayer is you setting your intention and focusing on someone from a remote location, wherever they are, or you could be right there in the room with them, but you're interceding on their behalf. That is energetic prayer. Nobody tells you that. So for those of you who have done that, how tired were you when that was over? Right? Some of y'all heard me tell the story of when I was a young 20-something-year-old working in the ER, and I had to sit and watch this psych patient, and her energy was just so cold and weird and erratic. And I didn't even know anything about spirituality then, y'all. I was like straight up full-fledged Christian, you know. And the thing was, the security guard asked me to sit with that patient until the psych police, state police came to take her to the state mental hospital, because he had to go and deal with another security situation there in the hospital. It was an all hands on deck. And he's like, Matt, I can't leave this patient. So since you're an ER employee, you stay there and watch this employee. That lady's energy was so wild. I was praying. I was praying while I was talking to her, like I'm talking to y'all right now. And guess what? This chick, this crazy lady, stopped and said, hey, the spirits are getting angry because they told me you're praying. I wasn't praying with my mouth. I was talking to her just like I'm talking right now. But inside, I was like, Lord, please. I don't know what this woman got coming off of her, but keep it off of me. I don't know how many. If there was a count of devils in her, I don't even know how many there are in there, but keep them off me. I'm praying this internally while I'm having a conversation with her and trying to keep her calm. You know, the Libra rising. I'm trying to keep her calm. Anyway, all that praying, I ain't going to tell y'all how the story climaxed. I'll deal with that another day for those of y'all that never saw that story, or for those of y'all that don't remember it. But suffice it to say, the story had a happy ending. But when that situation was over and the state transport police showed up, I went back in the nurse's lounge and collapsed into the chair. I was physically tired, like I had just finished running a marathon. Okay, so I know I'm way off track, y'all. But anyway, in this show, anybody that has these spiritual gifts, these priests, as the Bible calls them, a priest is not one who renders religious rites, or they're somebody that has the ability to manipulate one of the five elements. But when you're done doing that with your physical body, you are tired. So when the energies are equally balanced in the earth, the women protect the men with their spiritual gifts. The men protect the women physically, right? When you're done with those spiritual, doing that spiritual work, you're exhausted. Guess what? If you're in combat and the enemy knows that Aes Sedai, or whatever they were, priestess, was the one that was keeping them off, and now she's tired and her powers are drained, they going to kill her. Now she need that masculine energy to protect her. This is how this works. But I went all the way around the block to get you back to the house next door. Check that video out I did. It said, was the return of the divine feminine prophesied in scripture? I just showed it to you where it was. Okay. A woman shall compass a man. That is an indication of the return of the divine feminine to the earth. So now getting to bring this back to the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a feminine energy. So artificial intelligence is there as counter or contra feminine energy if it gets out of control. I know it's a great companion for some people. I've had people send me stuff. They said, hey, check this out. I got AI to write this particular article for me, and I got to edit as a writer myself and an editor. I'm looking at it and I can tell it was written, whether that person told me that was AI or not. In fact, I've had other people bring me stuff that I knew was AI, written by AI, because it had no character. It had no soul. A real writer knows when something was written by a human, even if it's a bad piece of writing, even if it's grammatically filled with errors or whatever, they can look at a piece of writing and tell when it has soul, when it has spirit, when it has energy to it, versus something that came out of a computer or artificial intelligence. So why am I saying this, Matt? Wisdom and intelligence are feminine energies. But if you're talking about artificial intelligence, then perhaps this rapid rise of AI is there to push down the natural feminine energies of wisdom and intelligence. If you rely on AI too much, sooner or later, you don't need that divine feminine energy of wisdom and intelligence. Why do I need wisdom when the computer can give it to me? The problem with that is it was created by man and it can be manipulated. Divine wisdom can never be manipulated. Divine wisdom can see through all things. Divine wisdom can know all things. Divine intelligence to know something that you did not know, that you didn't have to ask chat GPT or hey Google or ask Siri. That is divine. That's divine. It is divine for the spirit to download something into your spirit to let you know how somebody who ain't even in the same room with you, what type of condition they're in. AI can't do that. I personally think, and again, I'm gonna lose a lot of people. Some people are gonna get angry with this, but I personally think that this rapid rise of AI is an attempt to diminish or prevent the rise of divine feminine energy. For those of you who have watched the Wheel of Time, spoiler alerts. There are forces that are trying to break the Wheel of Time. Now, why would you want to break the Wheel of Time? If masculine energy that started out high vibrational, divine, and then over time waxed old and cold and got violent, knew that there's a divine clock that schedules the flip where divine masculine energy or masculine energy gives way to the feminine energies of love, creativity, and wisdom. But that third chakra, root chakra, and throat chakra energy that wants to dominate with speech and the voice versus intuition. Remember, there are those that said once upon a time, the original beings on this earth did not have to talk to each other. They telepathed. A lot of y'all on the dreamscape, you don't move your mouths and you have whole conversations with people when you're dreaming. Put a thumbs up in the chat if that's you. I'll be the first one. Put a thumbs up in the chat if that is you. If you notice that when you're dreaming, you are able to you don't speak with your mouth, you speak telepathically. Telepathic speech is feminine. Physical speech is masculine. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So, artificial intelligence is artificial feminine energy in terms of pure energy, not purpose, but pure energy. We know that artificial intelligence has a purpose, and I even use it a little bit to a degree. You can't help it now because when you type in something in the search engine, before you get all your article results, you get a result from AI. The AI engine puts its result at the top of the window. That's by default now when you're with your search engines. So I'm not talking about purpose. I'm talking about pure energy. Artificial intelligence is artificial feminine energy. Okay. And it is no different than I ain't trying to offend nobody, but I got to tell the truth. It is no different than a man becoming a woman. Fellas, if you ain't into that, Y'all better, because this makeup game out here is treacherous. I got boys that went to Thailand and they told me, they're like, yo, man, you better check the equipment if you're in Thailand at the club, because you don't know what you looking at or what you talking to. That's real talk. That's real talk. Some of y'all better start asking them to bring some elementary school pictures. Hey, look, yeah, I'd like to take you on a date, but on that first date, I'm gonna need you to bring some of your elementary school pictures. Let me see what you looked at in elementary school, and I'm gonna bring some of my elementary school pictures. Let's compare notes, okay? Let's see what the other person looked like in elementary school. All right. And now it's getting scary because AI could probably change that elementary school picture and make it look feminine if it's a man, and vice versa. Who knows? Anyway, it's no different than a man becoming a woman. A man who undergoes the process of becoming a woman is not a female. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And I'm not talking about those who are born, whatever, with that condition where you've got both masculine and feminine organs. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying a male who undergoes the process of becoming a woman. He's not a female. He is a male that is chosen to present as an artificial female. All right. And again, if that offends you, that's not my intent. That is just fact. Okay. Okay. Now, so to bring all this back around, this particular transit is, whether you like it or not, in my opinion, a move of the divine universal I am presence. The earth is going to transition in accordance with divine will and divine timing. No amount of collective will of the dark masculine energies whose time is up is going to stop the will of the divine. It's time for the earth to heal, and masculine energy doesn't heal. I'm sorry. Masculine energy does not heal. It conquers and it protects and it provides. That's what it does. And guess what? That's what it's going to continue to do. When this age flips, y'all, when you watch that video I talked about, was the return of the divine feminine prophesied in scripture or foretold in scripture. When you watch that, you'll notice that one of the themes that I suggest in there, that I told you guys, is that when the cosmic age is feminine, the dominant energy on the earth is masculine. When the cosmic age is masculine, the dominant energy on the earth is feminine. During the age of Pisces is a feminine sign. It's a water sign. It's a feminine sign. During the age of Pisces, the dominant energy on the earth was masculine. Now that we're in the age of Aquarius, the dominant energy in the earth is going to be feminine as we continue to progress further into the age of Aquarius. That is how the universe is balanced. The cosmic age is masculine, dominant earth energy is feminine. Cosmic age is feminine, dominant earth energy is masculine. So it's time for the earth to heal, and masculine energy doesn't do that. The age of conquest and control is rapidly coming to an end. Rapidly. In our lifetime. It's happening now. Y'all know the cosmos moves gradually. It doesn't move on a dime. It moves gradually. So we are in that shadow period of the earth turning over to divine feminine energy and away from what was once divine masculine energy that lost its divinity and just became masculine energy. That's what happens. It's going to happen toward the end of the age of Aquarius. The once divine feminine energy is going to lose its divinity and it's going to turn Jezebelian and just become feminine. And then guess what happens then? Masculine energy takes over. Y'all know how Jezebel died. She died at the hands of men. But while she was during her heyday, she was doing a lot of corrupt stuff using that feminine energy. So it happens, y'all. These are cosmic cycles that have happened forever. I tell y'all, we're eternal beings. Don't let the church tell you you're not an eternal being and you're living to get to eternity. You came into this physical realm from eternity because you are eternal. The only thing that is not eternal is the body that your eternal soul exists in. That's it. All right? So the age of conquest and control is over. The age of freedom and healing is upon us, which is what I believe this powerful tropical transit of the new moon in Cancer, being supported by Jupiter in Cancer, is. All right? So again, to my fellow Cancer moons, enjoy this boost in your empathic and healing abilities. They're boosted. They're boosted. I've had 2 successful Reiki sessions. I got my Reiki certification some months ago. Finished the training, got the certification, but was nervous because I'm like, oh, what if I do this and they say you don't know what you're doing? But all praises to the Most High. I'm 2-0. I'm 2-0 with Reiki. I'm 2-0. One of them was like David killing the lion. The first one was like David killing the lion. The second one was like David slaying Goliath. I'm still blown away by the not to sound religious, but the praise report I got from the individual I went to see in the hospital. I've never seen anything like what that individual was dealing with turn around that rapidly. And I was just like, well, I got the certification. He's somebody I know and somebody I trust. He trusts me. I trust him. So he was like, yeah, bro, just go and do what you do. Trust yourself. He told me. He said, trust yourself. I ain't got no time. I'm laying here. And y'all, I'm mind blown. So I'm telling you, if you got a Cancer moon and you know you have healing hands or healing capabilities, they're getting boosted by this transit. And they're boosted to stay. It's not like the video games where it's a temporary boost. They're boosted to stay. Okay? Let me read some comments, y'all. And I'm going to move through these houses. And we're going to talk about how this new moon energy is going to affect you and what seeds you might want to plant in order to maximize this powerful energetic portal based on the house that you have Cancer sitting in your natal chart. Let me read some comments, y'all, and we're going to get it going. All right? I'm 1 hour in, y'all. I didn't know I was going to be talking that long. I'm 1 hour in. All right, so, but I get, you know what? Y'all, this stuff don't come from me. It comes through me. I have to tell y'all that. This doesn't come from me. It comes through me. I just told some of y'all earlier that I'm working on a book, and based on my original notes for that book, I don't know how I arrived at the word count that I have right now. I don't know how I arrived there. I don't. Sometimes the spirit just takes over, and you in the car. You in the car with your hands on the steering wheel, but the car is going where it needs to go. Pardon me, y'all. All right, so let me read some comments. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all. If you're just coming in, tap that like button for me. Thank you so much. All right. What we got here? Let's see. Let me see what we got. Did I go too far down? Yeah, y'all answered the Cancer's feminine part. Okay. Let's see. Bernadette said, are those current wars examples of low vibrational masculine energy you're talking about? Absolutely. But they're necessary. There's nothing that operates outside of the will of the divine. We have to remember that, y'all. They are necessary. I ain't gonna go into the politics of. I talked about a lot of that in my last two videos, so I'm gonna stay away from the war tonight. With this one, I want this one to be about the astrology. But the answer to that is yes. Oh, she said, okay, you just answered the question. All right, let's see what we got here. Lady Dagger Status said, yes, we do. We need these young ladies to get back into being feminine. We so do. There's nothing. I'm gonna tell y'all, as a man's man, I identify as a Sigma male. If you know those archetypes, you got alpha male, beta male, you got some gamma males. The Sigma male I just learned about in 2020, 2021, somewhere around there. Listen, as someone who identifies as a Sigma male, I will tell you there is nothing more beautiful than a woman in her soft girl era. I'm talking about a woman who stands all seven of her chakras are firing. She has the courage and the confidence and the ability to speak that come with chakras 1, 3, and 5, but they're not over masculine. They're balanced perfectly with her chakra 2, her chakra 4, and her chakra 6. There's nothing more beautiful, y'all. There's nothing sexier than a woman who has all 6 of her chakras balanced. She is firm, assertive in her masculine energy, not aggressive. She's assertive in her masculine energy, but she has control and command of her feminine energy. There's nothing finer, man. There's nothing finer. You're gonna radiate a certain frequency. I don't care what you got dressed. You could be dressed in some overalls with paint all over them and paint on your face like you just got finished painting and your hair messed up. But guess what? When all 7 of them chakras are firing, you radiate an energy where people stare at you and you're like, why are they staring at me? I look awful. All right. But like my homegirl Anya says, I look like stir-fried expletive. But I'm like, nah, it ain't that. It's the energy you give off. So thank you for saying that. Yeah, we want our soft feminines back. Thank you for saying that, Lady Dag Status. Let's see. All praises to the Most High. This is true, Cancer Sun. Yep. So you already know, sir. Sir Bierdito. You already know. Bella Cancer Moon in the house, baby. Represent. Aparhita Ben RJ, hello, all love and light. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Where are you from? Drop that in the that's an interesting name. Drop it in the chat. Let us know where you're from. I always like to know what type of reach I'm getting. So, because I get international people, but I don't always know where they're from. So if you don't mind, about Aparajita, put that in the chat for me. Space Elf, thank you for the reminder. I'm a Pisces rising, South Node, Jupiter, and Venus. Yep. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see. She said, do you think the new moon with the solar flares amplifies the energy? Would they relate or work together? I don't know the answer to that. They could not. I don't know the answer to that. That's a great question. If somebody knows it that's watching this video on demand, or if it's already been answered in the chat, I just haven't made it down there yet. But if somebody knows the answer to that and wants to put it in the chat, please, by all means. Y'all, I put the thumbs up in there and didn't even hit this enter button. I'll just leave it alone now. So yeah, I don't know the answer to that, but that's a great question. If you're watching this video on demand and please put it in the comments for us. Let's see. What's up, hot shot in the house? What is up? Let's see. She said, I know Matter Cancer Moon too. Boy, managing to not try absorbing energies is a whole constant effort. It really is. It really is. And for those of you who are Cancer Moons, and I see this with my Cancer sons too, because they know sometimes you don't want to go out or go around people because you're like, man, I just don't want to pick up no energy. Like, I don't want to pick up no extra energy. You literally are a sponge when you have these Cancer placements. All right. Whatever house you got Cancer in, that also represents the area of life where you're prone to absorbing energy. That's real too. That's real too. Whatever house you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I might talk about that tonight too, because whatever house you have Cancer in, you're also prone to absorb energy there. That's huge. Thank you. She says never. I try to avoid at all costs. Exactly. Carcinogens. Okay, everything tastes better in glass. That is absolutely correct. She said that is one of my favorite videos you made. Thank you. Return of the Divine Feminine. Y'all check that out. Let's see. She said I enjoyed that story. So you remember. Thank you, Lady Dagger Status. Bella said, "Oh man, I wanted to hear the story." Bella, I'm gonna have to. You heard half of it. I'll Bella, you and me talk. I'll share it with you one day. Let's see. Yeah, it was a good story. Thank you. What's up, Allie? Allie Rue, how are you? We got Allie Rue in the house, y'all. Space Elf said the Hierophant. Yup. She said, good to see you all. Okay, let's see. What's up, Kelly? What is up, Kelly? Let's see, Sir Birdito. That is an interesting fact. It takes away from the original thought and wisdom. Yeah, listen, I just call it the way I see it. Jeez, that sounds about right with the AI rise and still not wise to think they can even. Yeah. There's studies now that someone sent me something on Instagram today. It's one of the Ivy League schools, or they've doing some studies that are showing that people who rely on AI for everything, their brain capability, their cognitive skills are rapidly shrinking. They did some sort of study on that, and that was scary but eye-opening at the same time. The Space Elf said, this sounds like King Solomon who asked for wisdom, but then had all the foreign women surrounding him. Exactly. And his instruction from the voice of wisdom was, don't mess with them foreign women because they're going to turn your heart against me. They're going to have you doing the very things that's going to cause me to leave you. Why? Because it's going to lower your vibration. Wisdom is an energy. It's not something you get by default. It chooses to dwell with you or not. Wisdom can come and go. What's that scripture say? Anyone that seeks wisdom, let him ask. Wisdom will come to you if you're going to listen to her instruction. But if you ain't following her instruction, she's going to go. Why? Because the Most High does not give wisdom to wicked, to the low vibrational. Why? Because they would use that wisdom to destroy. Wisdom is all powerful. So yeah, that's exactly why wisdom left him, because his vibrations were lowered to the point where, hey, I gotta turn you over to a reprobate mind and just let you do all kind of weird stuff, because I can't stay with you while you're doing this low vibrational stuff. I'm high vibrational. I cannot dwell in a low vibrational vessel. That's creepy now. You think and it knows before you type in the search. It is. I'm telling you. Yes, I've tried to explain that to men often. Ladies know we can give a look and know what it is. Exactly. Men can when they are seasoned. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. You can't lie to a Cancer. You can't lie to a Cancer, period. But you definitely can't lie to a Cancer moon, because they feel your energy. They feel exactly what you are feeling. They feel your emotions. So you can't lie to them. Nature Sounds for Relaxation. Thank you for joining tonight. What's up? She said, yes, I communicate telepathically in my dreams. Exactly. Exactly. Transhumanism. Exactly. She said elementary school pics. I'm saying if I'm out on them streets, I want to see your kindergarten through sixth grade pictures. I want to see them all. I want to watch the natural transition. All right. All right, let's see. Let's see. Oh, she said I'm from India and I live in New Jersey. Well, thank you for joining. Jersey in the house. Jersey in the house. I think we got another one from Jersey. I'm originally from New York, so Northeast in the house. Cancer in the 12th house. Okay. All right. Cancer in the 12th house. That's a Leo rising. That's a Leo rising with Cancer in the 12th house. Okay. All right. I love my Leo risings. If you a Cancer in the 12th house, that means you got a Leo rising. That means you got Libra in the third. That means you have a very beautiful voice. I ain't got to know you. I know astrology. You probably have a very beautiful speaking voice and singing voice if you sing. So anyway, let's see. Pronounce with a J, not an H. Okay. Apadanjita. Okay, got it. Got it. It means invincible. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's that divine feminine energy. She said it means invincible. Stellium X5, welcome back. Thank you for being here. She said, beginning jamming to this D train. You know it. Sir Bierdito, they can lie to a Cancer, but Cancer see through the bull quick. Exactly. All the water signs, Cancer feels, Scorpio sees, and Pisces knows. So you can, and the best lie detectors are Scorpios. Okay, they're the best lie detectors. They ain't even trying to hear it. They're not even trying to hear it. Now, Cancer, and Pisces are probably on that. They're close second because they can feel. But Cancer's listening to you lying, and they trying to navigate between what they're feeling and what they're hearing you say. And they may want to believe you, but they're like, I feel you. I can't. Meanwhile, Scorpio catching you right off grip. They're like, nah, you lying. Get out of here. Go sit down. Shout out Bernadette. Where you at? Where you at, Bernadette? Where my Scorpios at? Y'all know. Can't lie to them. All right, y'all. That's everybody. I'm caught up in the comments. So I am going to do timestamps for those of you who are watching on demand. And I'm going to write down, and y'all know, I typically tell y'all I'm going to have these timestamps done within 24 hours, but I might just go back and do it tonight. So let me write my numbers down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Y'all, I could focus on the fourth house too, because the fourth house is ruled by Cancer and ruled by the moon, but I'm not going to do the fourth house tonight. But just check out your fourth house sign, see what you got there, and expect a bump there. All right. For those of y'all that know your natal charts. Okay. Now, first house, my Cancer risings. First house. First house is the house of appearances. Okay. First house is the house of appearances. Okay. Now, if you have Cancer in your first house, what am I looking at here? 11305. If you have Cancer in the first house, look for, first of all, remember, again, new moons, sometimes things that are unexpected, things we don't see coming appear. Okay. Now, if you've got Cancer in the first house, that's kind of a wild card. What do I mean? Because your planetary ruler or your chart ruler is then the moon, and that Cancer energy affects your entire chart. It affects your entire houses from 1 through 12. You're going to have that empath capability in all areas of life when you got Cancer in your first house. Your first house is your I am statement. So I am an empath. Okay. If you got a Cancer moon, I am an empath too. If you got a Cancer sun, I am an empath too. But if you got Cancer in your first house, I am an empath. So you feel all things. So you could run into something that you didn't see coming in any area of your life. But let's deal with what the first house deals with, which is your self, how you see yourself, how you appear to others. So you could get something unexpected that you didn't see coming. And I know that some people are going to say that's Uranian energy or Aquarian energy. It is, but it is also new moon energy. Again, when you get to the 10th house, I'm going to share with y'all what I didn't see coming that came today. And I talked about it a little bit already, but that's for what you don't see coming. Now, with regards to an increase in your emotions, you could get an increase in your general emotions, the way you feel about yourself. Keep your emotions high. The way you feel about yourself is going to be amplified during this season. Okay. The fourth house also rules over home and family. So you could get a boost and an increase in how you show up for your family. how you look at home, your home in general, But the home in general is the fourth house, and you could get some of that too because again you are a Cancer rising. But when with Cancer in your first house, expect a boost or an increase of emotions with regards to how you feel about yourself. Okay, how you might come off in your appearance to others. You're the way you might appear as a healer. You may get some self healing as well. Cancer is the sign of the healer as well. It is the sign of the healer. It rules over the heart chakra. Okay, it rules over the heart chakra. So y'all, this energy too is about an opening of your heart chakra. Why? Because the heart chakra is ruled by the moon. The heart chakra is ruled by the moon. Cancer energy is Cancer is about the moon. So with this lunar transit, this new moon in Cancer, you could be getting some and I'm talking like this is the full moon, y'all. Let me switch it up a little bit because I got my mind in full moon mode. That's gonna come 6 months from now. But with regards, because we're doing intention setting tonight, set an intention for yourself. Set an intention for how perhaps you want. This is going to happen anyway. You're not you this might be one of those things you don't see coming. Cancer rising. This might be one of those things you don't see coming, but expect an opening of your heart chakra. Now, with regards to the seeds we want to plant, we plant seeds, we set intentions during the new moon. Set an intention for how you show up for your family, how you show up in your home. Set an intention for an increase in love in your home. Y'all, when we're doing this intention setting, we like to work with the element that matches the element of the moon. So you want to work with water. Go sit by a lake, go out to the ocean, go out to the beach to do your intentions, your manifestations, your meditation. Go sit and meditate near the ocean, near a riverside, near a lake. I love working with the bath. I get in the bathtub. I set a spiritual bath. I put my sea salt in there, or my Epsom salt. I put my floral essences in there. I might put the peroxide in there, and that's my recipe. I do sea salt, floral essences, peroxide, and I squeeze fresh lemon juice in there. That's Matt's spiritual bath. I keep it real simple. Okay. And then while I'm doing that, I'll have scented candles in the bathroom. I will play some chakra music depending on what energy I want to deal with. When you're dealing with this new moon in Cancer and you're setting your intentions, play some heart chakra music. Play some heart chakra music. So find your favorite heart chakra tuning frequency and play that while you're doing your manifestations. And this goes for everybody. We're working with the moon, so you want to work with the water element. And if you're doing sound frequencies, you want to work with heart chakra frequencies. Okay, we're opening the heart. We need that heart space energy to help heal the earth right now. We need that heart space energy to help balance out the negativity. This is everybody. I don't care what house you have Cancer in. Okay, looks like my connection is struggling a little bit. Give me a second. Y'all, I ran into this on Sunday night. The same thing. This platform don't like me, y'all. I don't know why. This platform does not like your boy because they've been messing with me lately here. They've been messing with me. But you know what? Anytime you are attacking the kingdom of darkness and you're on a technology platform, they're going to use it against you. Let me perhaps, y'all let me know if you're still out there. Give me a thumbs up if y'all still out there. I may switch up networks and switch to my phone. Let me see. Hang on. If this doesn't, it looks like it's staying consistently down to 1 bar. So let me switch to my phone, y'all. Hang on a second. Okay, you still got a thumbs up. I know I'm probably coming in choppy or blurry. It looks like it's coming back up now. All right. We're back up. We're back up to full bars. Y'all, this is what happens when you're doing this light work, man, on these platforms. A lot of these platforms are hosted by workers of iniquity. I'm just gonna call it what it is. A lot of these platforms are hosted by workers of iniquity. Okay, Bernadette said you're fine over here. I was looking at, there's an indicator on my screen that tells me what my connectivity looks like, and it looked like it was starting to dip. Okay, good. Y'all said it wasn't choppy. Good. Okay, I'll just keep it moving then. I'll keep it moving. All right, thank y'all. So again, that is everybody. Work with water. Whatever, you want to go to a natural body of water, or if you want to do it in the shower. Y'all, sometimes I get downloads when I'm just washing dishes. Water touches me, I get a download. Sometimes if I'm out walking the dog and it starts raining, I get a download. So when you're working with this new moon in Cancer, Cancer is a water element. You want to work with the element of water when you're setting your intentions, okay? So you want to manifest with water. First house, set intentions for or manifest with regards to yourself, how you want to show up at home, how you want your emotions about yourself to increase. Cancer deals with home, family, and emotions. Those are the big three for Cancer: home, family, and emotions. So set intentions for how you want to show up for yourself emotionally. And you're going to get that increase with that multiplier in Jupiter. So make sure you do this, okay? That new moon in Cancer begins tomorrow. Y'all want to set those intentions tonight. We're already in that shadow energy. You don't have to wait. I'm already seeing the energies hit. So that's first house. If you have Cancer in the first house, it's all about self. Setting your intentions for an increase of your empathic, your healing capabilities, self-healing. Set an intention for increasing the ability to heal yourself. When you can heal yourself, you can actually heal others. When you work to heal others, you heal yourself. That's one of the principles of Reiki. When you perform Reiki on somebody, you're actually performing it on yourself. Why? Because the universal life energy, the universal life force energy is flowing through you. So Reiki heals you as you're healing, as you're working to heal, work with that person to allow that healing energy to flow through you. All right. So that's self. If you have Cancer in your second house, I'm going to say 121, 40. Okay. If you have Cancer in the second house is what? That is your material possessions, your values. That's the house of values, house of material possessions, house of acquisitions, things that you acquire. Cancer energy is about home, family, and emotions. All right. I know a lot of people say that real estate lives in the fourth house of home and family. Matt, as an astrologer, sees real estate in two houses. I see real estate with regards to the single home and the contents of that home as being a fourth house function. But when you're talking about buying and selling real estate, I see that as a second house action or function, because it is about acquisitions. Either you're spending money to acquire a home, or you're selling a home to acquire money. Money, possessions, that second house. Okay. So there's some bleed over here with this Cancer energy, but it's amplified. The signal's amplified by Jupiter. So jump on it, family. Set an intention for what it is that you want to acquire. Something that, if you want to acquire something that is going to help improve your home, okay, I'm going to come to that in the fourth house too. But if you want to acquire something, whatever it is that you value with regards, maybe if you got Cancer in the second house, that tells me that you value healing and you value empathy. Okay, you value that heart space energy. You value things that are Cancerian. You value things like cancers love to cook. They love to a lot of cancers can heal through cooking. A lot of cancers can heal through cooking. I get compliments from family all the time saying, "Man, I don't know what it is. Whenever you cook, man, it just when I eat, it just lifts my spirits, man. I feel good." I've been told I can feel the love in your food. They're like, "You really put your heart into this, didn't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. I want to eat a good meal too, but I want y'all to enjoy this meal, man. If y'all ain't happy, I ain't happy. So I'm really putting my love into this food. I'm preparing this for people I love." Yo, put a thumbs up in the chat, Cancer. If y'all, let me explain something real quick. Let me take it aside and explain something about Cancer energy that a lot of people don't know. Cancer energy is unique in the zodiac from the standpoint of, when it comes to Cancer, the lines are blurred between family and friends. The lines are blurred. Cancer rules over the fourth house of family and home. But here's what you need to know about Cancer, sun, moon, and rising. If you are a friend, as in non-family member, non-blood relative of a Cancer, sun, moon, or rising, if they consider you a friend, you got the same access to them as family. They don't see you as a friend. Even though on paper you're a friend, they see you as their family. They do. So that's where Cancer is kind of set apart. It's an introverted sign, so it doesn't let everybody in. But when they let you in, you're family. You're family to them. Okay? So let me talk about that. Now, getting back to this Cancer in the second house, remember, Cancer sits on the axis with Capricorn. So every Cancer has a little bit of Capricorn in them. Capricorn is about getting to the bag. So a second house Cancer is actually a good placement, because you got On the opposite, Cancer is Capricorn. You have the ability. This is what people don't know about Cancer either. They don't know that Cancers go just as hard to get their money as Capricorns do, but you don't see it because they're spending more time with family. Whereas Capricorns, they love their family just as much as Cancers do, but they're able to detach from family to go get the bag. They're like, look, if I don't get this bag, nobody eats. That's Capricorn energy. Cancer energy is the opposite. It's like, I want everybody to eat, so let me go get this money. It's the same, but it's polar opposites. So if you got Cancer in your second house, start manifesting something that is going to bring some sort of value to you. That's going to bring value to you. That's going to open up your heart chakra. That is going to increase your ability to share that love, to open your heart to your family, to your friends, to the community, to the earth. If you got Cancer in that second house, then guess what? Your emotions could also be tied to money. They also could be tied to money. So manifest that. Manifest those acquisitions. Manifest bringing in that thing, that material possession that is going to help you to expand your heart chakra. It's going to help your ability to heal. Okay, it's going to help your ability to share that healing energy. All right, but you also value empathy. You value emotion. Second house is where our values live. So you value emotions. I know that sounds crazy. Maybe I'm not saying that right, but you value empathy. You value being able to feel and to do for others. That's a value for you. But that second house is also about acquisition. So set an intention that is going to allow you to bring in the acquisitions that will help you to open up your heart. We're opening our heart chakras. We're unblocking our heart chakras, whether we like it or not. Okay. I don't know if I did that enough justice. If y'all want more, then put it in the comments underneath the video when it's over. Okay. Let's go to the third house, 127. If you have Cancer in your third house, the third house rules over communication. All right. Set an intention for being able to express yourself in a more positive way emotionally. Sometimes Cancers, period, but also third house Cancers, also Mercury in Cancer, because the third house is ruled by Mercury. But when you're talking about Cancer in the third house, that means that you have a emotional way of expressing yourself. You could get in your feelings a little bit when you're expressing yourself. Okay, so sometimes Cancer, Cancer Mercuries, and then third house Cancers. What I see with them sometimes is Cancer is also an introverted sign. What I see sometimes is they hold back on saying perhaps what they want to say because it's like, well, maybe I don't want to come across as too emotional. No, speak your mind. But more importantly, with that being a third house Cancer, speak your heart. The third house rules over expression. It rules over communication. It rules over knowledge. Okay. So maybe you want to set an intention to bring in some knowledge that is going to help you as a healer. Cancer is a healing sign. It maybe you want to bring in some knowledge that's going to help you to express yourself in a more emotionally balanced way. Okay? Maybe you just want to learn more about how you can open your heart. Maybe you want to go and learn something like Reiki. The third house is the house of learning as well. Maybe you want to learn a healing art. Maybe you want to learn how to you want to learn some massage, some sort of healing discipline. Maybe you want to learn that. Set an intention. Set the intention. Set the intention for your communication to maybe communicate perhaps in a more loving way. Sometimes Cancer energy, sometimes when it gets scarred, it gets either sheepish, where it doesn't want to talk anymore, or it can get a little bit, the claws can come out and they can get in that clapback energy. Maybe you want to elevate above that. Maybe you want to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to balance my emotions and speak from my heart without going off on somebody. Right? Cancer, sun, moon, rising. Y'all know you can go off on people if they catch you wrong. It happens. It happens. But maybe you want to move past that. We're operating out of that heart chakra now. Remember the charge at the beginning of this video. We have to help balance out the energy in the earth right now. I don't care if you're a male or female watching this. Everybody has masculine and feminine energy. Everybody's got Cancer in some house. Everybody's got some portion of Cancer energy. You don't have to have a planet in Cancer. You don't have to have a sun, moon, or rising in Cancer. You don't have to have a Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn in Cancer. Okay? You don't have to have that. But I don't think anybody watching this video has a Uranus in Cancer. That's one of those outer planets where you start getting into those 70-year transits and whatnot. So right now, Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, is getting ready to move into Gemini. So Cancer, Uranus and Cancer is coming up for whatever children are going to be born when it's in that transit. But that's not here right now. That's not going to be here for a while. So I don't think anybody watching this has a Uranus in Cancer. But anyway, yeah. So maybe you want to be expressive in a more loving way, in a way that's not. Maybe you also want to manifest. Here's something else for you. I'm throwing nuggets out, y'all. If you have Cancer in your third house, maybe one of the things you want to manifest or intention set is not allowing others' words to affect you negatively. Maybe you want to manifest something that says, hey, give me a tougher exterior shell so I don't absorb negative words or negative speech from somebody else. That's for you if you got Cancer in the third house. If you got Cancer in the fourth house, 130, 55. If you have Cancer in the fourth house, that is the house, that's the natural home for Cancer, okay? That's the natural home. If you got Cancer in the fourth house, it typically means you're in Aries rising, okay? If you got Cancer in the fourth house, that's like, I also call the fourth house your backup moon. Well, your secondary moon sign is your fourth house. So whatever you got in the fourth house, that's like a backup moon sign. Your primary moon is your moon. Your secondary moon is the house that the moon rules. So whatever sign you got in that fourth house. If you have Cancer in the fourth house, that's also going to be boosted by this transit as well, because your fourth house is conjunct with Jupiter as well. So that's when I left off. You're getting a boost from this particular transit with Cancer being conjunct Jupiter as well. If you got Cancer in the fourth house, perhaps one of the things you also may not see something coming in the home. Okay. And y'all, I skipped the other two. If you got Cancer in the second house, you never know. You could get some unexpected emotion boosting money or material goods if you got Cancer in the second. I forgot to say that. If you got Cancer in the third, we're dealing with the unexpected or unseen, because the new moons are about things that we don't see. Cancer in the third, you could get some inbound communication that opens your heart. Okay. Some inbound communication that opens your heart. Hopefully it opens your heart and doesn't affect it negatively. I'm going to say it's not going to affect it negatively. Why? Because you're conjunct with Jupiter, which is the benefactor of the zodiac. So you got Cancer in the third. You expect the unexpected with some communication that may open up your heart chakra. Cancer in the fourth, maybe you get something, a visit from a family member, or maybe a family member cooks you a meal or something. That's that hearthy, homey, family, love on you type emotional energy. If you got Cancer in the fourth, maybe you get something unexpected that is going to help you to open up. In general, the fourth house rules over our emotions too. So something that is going to generally open your heart that you don't see coming. Okay, that there's some emotion that's going to come in that's going to affect your emotion. Maybe something or someone in your family. Now, on the manifestation or the intention setting, again, we're working with water. Whatever body of water you want to work with, or however you want to work with water, set an intention for something with regards to your home. Set an intention for something with regards to your home. Opening that heart up. Opening that heart up at home. Maybe you want to set an intention to now this is kind of getting into the fifth house a little bit, but family, maybe fifth house is about children, fourth house is about family, but the two can sometimes go together, if you know what I mean. Maybe you want to set an intention to increase your family. With the increaser conjunct that moon, that Cancer moon, you could get that expansion. So maybe you want to expand your family. Jupiter is an expander. Maybe you want to expand your family. Set the intention. Okay. Maybe you want some home improvement. That's fourth house. Maybe you want some home improvement. Set that intention. Maybe you can expand your home and that home environment by doing home improvement. Okay. Maybe you want to do something as simple as maybe you want to expand that grocery budget. I know budget is kind of second house, but food, that's going to kind of go in that fourth house too. I don't know anybody who likes to eat more than Tauruses and Cancers. So those two kind of go hand in hand, you know. So anyway, work with that. Set the intention. Anything that has to deal with home, family, or your emotions, whatever it is that comes to you, set that intention. But set that intention to expand your heart chakra, open your heart. Also, fourth house is the house of healing as well. It's ruled by Cancer. So maybe you want to expand and increase, set an intention to increase your healing capability. This goes the same as with the Cancer in the first house. Maybe you want to do that. Maybe you want to open that up. Maybe you want to expand your healing capability. Maybe you want to set the intention to more powerfully be able to heal yourself and others. Fourth house is the house of healing. So is the eighth house. All of your water houses have to deal with healing too. All of your water houses. I talked about that earlier. Now, let's see, 135, let's say 135:20. If you have Cancer in the fifth house rules over our passions, the things that we do for fun, children, romance, creativity. All right. The fifth house is also about self-confidence too. The fifth house, natural ruler of the fifth house is the sun. Okay. The sun rules over the solar plexus chakra. So you're getting a little bit of a combination of that heart chakra and solar plexus chakra energy if you have Cancer in your fifth house. So maybe you get unexpected news about fifth house is about children. Maybe you get unexpected news about pregnancy. Who knows? Somebody watching might. Somebody, maybe you didn't know you were going to get there. Whoa, how did that get there? Okay. Maybe. I don't know. It's a possibility. It's a possibility with Cancer in the fifth house during this transit. Okay. Maybe you get some invitation to go out and do something fun that you don't see coming. Okay. Remember, new moons are about things we don't see. Full moons are fully illuminated. Okay. So maybe somebody wants you to go out to, I don't know, wine and paint or something. I don't know. Maybe you get a surprise invitation to go do something. Surprise invitation to go do something fun. That's just one type of thing. Now, as far as you setting your intentions, that fifth house, my favorite fifth house theme is self-confidence. Maybe you want to set the intention to open up your heart in a way that allows you to increase your confidence. Sometimes when you see how your heart affects others, sometimes when you see how your healing capabilities affects others, it moves down the chakra wheel, which typically moves up, but it moves up and down too. I've heard other people say that energy flows up and down. So maybe you, through improving or amplifying your healing capabilities, it increases your confidence in your ability to do so. I just talked about that as a Cancer moon and me having 2 occasions to use that Reiki certification that's just sitting on the wall over there. Okay. That I honestly, I don't know so much that it was a lack of confidence. Maybe it was, but it's just one of those things where I'm such a perfectionist. I'm like, I know other people that have done Reiki and it's worked on me, but this is big. You know what I mean? But now my confidence has increased. I got somebody else that wants me to come work with them tomorrow. So maybe you set the intention to have something happen with regards to that healing energy or that heart space energy that increases your confidence or that increases your ability to be creative. Open my heart so that I can receive. Open my heart so that I can give in a creative way. Open my heart in such a way that I expand on my passions, the things that I'm passionate about. Help me to feel what it is that I'm passionate about. I want to connect my heart to my third chakra. I want to connect my fourth chakra to my third chakra here again, so I can feel in such a way that's going to improve my confidence. I sit up more, sit up straighter. Maybe you want more children. Set that intention. Set that intention during this new moon transit. All right? Creativity, passions, fun, competition. Competition lives in the fifth house too. Maybe you want to increase, maybe you want to expand your heart, which in turn expands your not just your creativity, but your self-confidence so that you can be more successful in whatever competitive thing that you do. It could be me. I'm a competitive tennis player, but I don't have Cancer in the fifth house. Okay. So those are just some examples of Cancer. Romance too. Some of y'all are looking for romance. Romance and that heart chakra go together. They go together. So set the intention to be able to open your heart. Some of you guys aren't. Some of you guys want that romantic, passionate experience, but your heart chakra's closed. Those two don't go together. You got to be able to open your heart to give. You also got to open your heart to receive. So you want balance. You, as with anything, you want balance there. You don't want to overgive where you're not receiving an equal reciprocity, because then that could affect that romance that you thought you wanted. I'm the only one giving here. What am I doing? That could affect that. All right. Or you're taking and not giving back. And then that person who's at romantic interest, they're like, you know what, man, this person doesn't give anything back. I'm out. So maybe set the intention to open your heart to romance, to open your heart to be a better giver and a better receiver, if that is what you want. Okay. All right, that was Cancer in the fifth house. If you have Cancer in the sixth house, let's say 140-12. If you have Cancer in the sixth house rules over our daily tasks, our daily routines, how we get things done. It's ruled by Virgo naturally, so it's that Virgo energy. It also rules over our health. Again, this is a powerful transit. That heart chakra energy, that Cancerian energy being a healer in the house of health, that's a powerful transit. That's a powerful transit. So maybe you might get an unexpected, maybe if you're going through something in your physical body, you may get a surprise with regards to a health boost in with regards to whatever it is that you may have been dealing with in your physical body, because the sixth house rules over our health as well. Okay, over our health. So that's something that you could receive that is unexpected. It also rules over our daily routines. So with Cancer in that sixth house, maybe set the intention to love what it is that you do. Let me tell you how that works. That's powerful. That's powerful. If you don't currently love, if your heart isn't open to what you do, maybe you're not doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So during this transit, that heart chakra opening may allow you to see that, hey, this isn't really, why am I doing this when this isn't what I love? Tap in, go inside. I tell you guys all the time, ask yourself. Yeah, we pray, but I told y'all it is a powerful thing to be able to ask yourself. You'll be surprised at how quickly you get the answer. I've seen this so many times now, y'all. I do it regularly. Matt, what am I missing? I lose my wallet. I don't know what my wallet is. Matt, where's my wallet? Matt, show me where my wallet is. Boom, there it is. Matt, show me where my keys are. And then my head goes over. I walk, take 3 steps. I'm not physically consciously looking for them at that point. It's almost like I'm on autopilot. All right. So maybe you want to set the intention to open your heart so that you are doing what you love. Sixth house rules over our daily routines, our daily tasks. All right. Virgo energy. It's about how we work, how we do what we do when we're at work. All right. Can't that 10th house, which is ruled by Capricorn energy, that's about your career. That's about your job, your career. All right. How you show up outside of the home. But when you're talking about how you do what you do, that's that Virgo energy that's in the sixth house. So maybe you want to set the intention to open your heart to perhaps maybe find the love or find the passion. Passion is more fifth house, but find that love, find that high vibrational emotion with regards to what it is that you're doing. And with it being in your sixth house, the sixth house being ruled by Virgo, it's also going to open up and maybe increase your ability to analyze that, to pick up the details, because that heart chakra, the heart rules. Listen, y'all, the heart rules over the emotions. The heart rules over the emotions. The heart and the emotions go together. There are so many scientists that are saying that the heart chakra is the most powerful of the 7 chakras. It is responsible for your arc field. Your arc field emanates from your heart. That's why when you have people who are in low emotions, their arc field is small. People that are high in their emotions, their arc field is huge. So with Cancer being in that sixth house, Cancer rules over home, family. Maybe you're setting the intention that your family, maybe you want to set an intention to be able to do more things with your family, daily tasks, routines, more with your family. Fourth house rules over Cancer rules over the fourth house, and the sixth house is ruled by Virgo, which is about details and organization. Maybe you're setting the intention to organize your home. Set the intention to reorganize your home. You don't like the way it's laid out. You don't like the way it's organized. You don't like how things are out of order. Set that intention during this lunar transit. Okay, and definitely with the health, set the intention for that. Cancer is healing energy, so maybe you want to heal something with regards to with your health, your physical health. Seventh house, let's say 144-35. If you have Cancer in your seventh house, that is the house of partnerships, house of marriage, house of partnerships. Seventh house is ruled by Libra, so it's beauty too, Venusian energy. Maybe you want that healing. Maybe you get some unexpected thing with regards to that a partnership. Maybe you get unexpected healing in your relationship, unexpected healing in your marriage, if you will. Maybe you get an unexpected marriage. Maybe you didn't see a marriage proposal coming in. Boom, out of the blue, somebody pops a ring. Some people are going to say that that's romance, but the seventh house is the house of partnerships. Romance goes in the fifth house, the seventh house, the house of partnerships, and Cancer is about the emotions. So maybe you get that. But in the meantime, with regards to what this Cancer energy is, that's being boosted by Jupiter, the planet of gifts, abundance, that's Jupiter, that's a Jupiterian energy. Set the intention. These are just an example. Set the intention for something with regards to increasing or improving your heart space energy, your emotions with regards to your relationship. Fourth house is more about your relationship with your family, but seventh house is relationships in general. So, and the fourth, because the fourth house rules over home and family, maybe you want to set the intention to improve or increase your relationship with your family. Pardon me. Hopefully y'all didn't hear that. I tried to keep it quiet. Yeah. So that's your seventh house rules over relationships. It also rules over business partnerships. So maybe you want to maybe you and your business partner, maybe your heart chakra is a little bit close to your business partner. Maybe you haven't had the best energy between you and your business partner. Set the intention for improved relations and improved love energy with your business partner. Okay? That's only going to improve it for everybody. The seventh house rules over partnerships, all types of partnerships, not just marriage. So maybe you want to put your heart more into that. Set that intention. Set that intention. Okay? Seventh house rules over businesses as well. Depending on how you look at it. Different astrologers look at it differently. But businesses typically have some sort of partnership unless it's a sole proprietorship. But if you're talking about, even if it is a sole proprietorship, maybe you want to expand that and partner with someone in your family. These are just some examples. Set the intention, work with water. Okay? That's the seventh house. And you also want to set that intention to have more loving communication. Why? Because Libra is an air sign that has air signs rule over communication. All right. And Libra is a cardinal sign. So cardinal signs take lead, even though Libra is about balance. And speaking of balance, maybe you just want to balance your heart chakra. Maybe you want to balance that heart space energy. I talked about that a little bit previously. Equal give and take. Those 7 principles of Mayat. Y'all go look that up. I talk about that all the time. Those 7 principles of Mayat. I should have it memorized by now. I don't. I try to memorize things in the order I learn them, but okay. Y'all, I'm really trying not to put these readers on because I know what happens when I take them off. Okay, that's the 7th house. If you have Cancer in your 8th house, let's see, 1, 48, 10. If you have Cancer in the 8th house, what's the 8th house? 8th house, more bigger than anything, is the house of transformation. 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio is the energy of transformation. Dying to the old so that the new can come forth. So when you're talking about heart space energy, that Cancer energy, that moon energy, that emotional energy in the house of transformation, that's real easy, y'all. Look for something unexpected to arrive to help you transform your emotions. I know a lot of people love getting hung up on the sacred energy exchange. Look at that acronym. Take those first 3 initials, or take the first initial of those 3 words. That's an 8th house function too. Maybe you want to put your heart into that more. Okay? Or maybe you have a session that just opens your heart. I don't know. Okay? I don't know. Maybe that's coming out of the blue. I don't know. Okay? But when it comes to setting the intentions, maybe you want to heal in that area. Right? Maybe you want to heal in that area. The 4th house is about healing. 8th house is about healing too. So that's a powerful combination. That is a powerful healing combination if you are Cancer in the 8th house. If you're Cancer in the 8th house, you're already a healer. You are already a healer if you have healing energy in the 8th house, which is another water sign. So that's double water. If you are Cancer in the 8th house, guess what? Not only are not only that improves your seeing capabilities. Why? Because the 8th house is the house that is ruled by Scorpio. Scorpio is the seer of the zodiac. So whatever sign you have in that 8th house, it is by reason of it sitting in the 8th house, you are going to have the ability to see perhaps what others don't see in that area of your life. For example, I've got Taurus in the 8th house. So Taurus rules over the second house of finance, money, material possessions, that sort of thing. That sort of sometimes gives me the ability to see certain things or to be able to see value. I have the ability to see value. That's another thing. That's just me, for example. I'm getting on to me in a second, but I'm just using that for example. If you have Cancer in the 8th house, guess what that gives you? That gives you the ability to see the emotions of others. That also gives you the ability to feel when something needs to be healed, when something needs to be transformed. So when you're working with water during this lunar transit with Cancer in your 8th house, maybe what you want to do is you want to set the intention to transform your emotions. Maybe you also want to set the intention to increase or expand your ability to heal and transform the emotions of others. All of your 8s are if you're a life path 8, you got the ability to transmute. You got the ability to transmute. Okay? Again, in my case, 8th house Taurus, I got the ability to transmute my financial situation. If it looks like I'm going broke, I don't know, something just comes out of the ether for me. I just that ability to transform and take that bad situation and turn into a good one. That's just an example. We're not talking about Taurus in the 8th. We're talking about Cancer in the 8th. But that Cancer in the 8th is a force multiplier because you have healing energy in and empathy in the house of transformation. I happen to know a couple of Cancer 8th house. I know a few. I know quite a few 8th house Cancers because if you got Sagittarius rising, that would make you a Cancer in the 8th house. So guess what that does? The 8th house is also how you transform and heal yourself, right? So when you got Cancer there, that just gives you some super abilities. You got water in a water house. You got water in a water house. But I happen to know some Cancer, some 8th house Cancers, and they have the ability to feel when somebody needs some sort of healing or some sort of transformation. They feel it. They feel it. The ones that I know, I can't run from them. I try to stay away from them. They know, what's wrong with you? I know 3 of them. I literally know personally 3 Sagittarius risings. Got 3 of them in my family. They know when something's wrong with me. They can see it. They can see it because the 8th house ruled by Scorpio, that's the seer. And Cancer is the feeler. So they can feel what you're feeling. I can't go on 10 around certain people in my family because it's too overwhelming for them. They can feel it. That is that happens to be those 8th house Cancers. So if I'm on 10, I got to kind of go move away because I'm like, I don't want to affect them with this 10 energy when the steam is coming out of the nostrils. All right. So maybe you want to set the intention to expand your ability to heal, to be able to feel when somebody needs some help transforming, to feel when it is that, you know what, I need to die to self so that I can transform and renew myself. Maybe you want to help transform and renew your family with Cancer in the 8th. Okay. All right. Those are just some examples. And maybe you want to transform. Maybe you want to heal your sacred energy exchange life if you got Cancer in the 8th. Okay. All right. All right. Those are just some examples. This is not an exhaustive list. You guys check out some of your favorite astrologers on your favorite social media platforms because no one astrologer knows all things. They don't. That's why I promise you, if you look on any astrologer's channel on not YouTube, on Instagram and go through if their channel's not locked down, if their Instagram feed is not locked down, and you can look at who they're following or whatever, I promise you they follow some other astrologers. No one astrologer knows all things. Now, everybody's got something they specialize in or gravitate to based on the energy that is them. All right. So moving on to the 9th house, 15425. If you have Cancer in your 9th house, that is that's another force multiplier. If you have Cancer in your 9th house, why? Because the 9th house is ruled by Jupiter, and guess what sign Jupiter's in right now? Jupiter's in Cancer, so that's like double the energy. So maybe you have emotions that are tied to travel. Maybe you have emotions that are tied to foreign affairs. Maybe you have emotions that are tied to wisdom. Okay. So with that Cancer in the ninth house, maybe you might get some wisdom with regards to your family or your emotions that's going to help you to expand it. They're already going to, that energy is already expanding because it's sitting in the house of expansion. So your heart's opening up naturally. Your heart's opening up naturally with it. You get new, fresh energy. The new moons are also, y'all, I didn't say this up front. The new moons are also about ushering in fresh energy, but it's also about setting intentions. I deal more with the intention setting, but it's also about fresh, ushering in fresh new energy. So it's about that too. It's about that too. But let me say this: with Cancer in your ninth house, maybe you have the ability, your healing capabilities. Maybe you want to set the intention to expand your healing capabilities. It's going to be on automatic. It's going to be automatic, and it's probably not even going to take 6 months to appear and manifest. We got a job to do with this energy, y'all. We got a job to do with this energy. This is what the workers of iniquity, the workers of darkness, they use these portals to do dark things, y'all. We have to use these portals to do light things. The light is the only thing that drives out the darkness. You cannot drive out darkness with darkness, and you can't drive out darkness by sitting in it. When you want light, if you want light, be the light you want to see. So, expansion of healing capabilities, expansion of empathy, expansion of wisdom, expansion of wisdom. Cancerian energy is already feminine, and the ninth house is the house of wisdom. The third house is the house of the student. The ninth house is the house of the teacher. So maybe you want to set the intention to teach about things that are of an emotional nature. Maybe you want to teach people how to manage their emotions. Maybe you want to set the intention to help people heal their emotions. The ninth house is that's a healing energy too. Why? Because the ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius in tarot. The Sagittarius energy, major arcana, is the temperance card. The temperance card is the angel of healing, healing and balance. Y'all, this energy thing is so expansive. This is why I tell you nobody can ever know, no one person can know all things. It's too expansive. It is too expansive, y'all. I love it. That's one thing. That's one of the things I love about it. When you're a student of astrology, you're a student your whole life. You're always learning something new. I got astrologers I follow that have been practicing for 40 years and they're still learning new things. And they'll tell you that. The honest ones will. So maybe also with that being the house of travel, maybe you want to go travel somewhere and attend a healing or holistic type of retreat. Maybe you want to go to a holistic retreat or something that's going to help you with healing or help you learn the healing arts. Set that intention. That's for somebody. That's for somebody. Set that intention to make that trip. But also in this season, set that intention to receive the wisdom on when to take that trip. Because now ain't necessarily the best time to be flying to no foreign destinations, depending on where it is in the world. Let me just say that. Especially if you're going east. If you're going west, you're going to Hawaii or something like that, you're going to Sedona, that might be cool. But when you're trying to go leave the country and go maybe to the Middle East, that's not a good look right now. Okay. So, but y'all already know that. Y'all don't need me to tell y'all that. So when you're doing these new moon manifestations and intention settings, set the intention to receive the wisdom with you ninth house Cancers that want to go take a trip to go on a healing retreat or learn some healing thing or do something that's going to open your heart space, or maybe go take a family trip. Cancer rules over for home and family too. Or maybe you want to go and look for a home or maybe change your home to a foreign location. You can set that intention, but also set the intention to ask for wisdom. Remember, wisdom comes to whoever asks for it. Your vibrations got to match though. Okay. So ask for the wisdom on the timing. Show me the right timing to do this. Help move things around in the universe so that I get to where it is that I desire to go to at the best time that's going to be safe for me and my family. That's your ninth house. That's your ninth house Cancers. Okay. Now, Cancer in the 10th house. Told you I was going to come back to me. That is 2 hour mark. No, 1:59:20. 1:59:20. If you have Cancer in your 10th house, that's the house of career. That's the house of public. 4th house is private. That's home. 10th house is public. That's work. That's your career. Okay. If you have Cancer in the 10th house, then you may get some unexpected career thing, or you may unexpectedly be helping somebody with their career. Told you I was going to share my story today. I wasn't looking for it, and once when I sat with myself for a while after eating lunch and just reflecting on what had happened during the day, I was just like, oh, earlier that day, and then I had another occurrence that happened after lunch, and I sat with myself again after that ended. I knew what was going on. I said, this is that pre-shadow to the new moon in Cancer. I'm Cancer in the 10th house. I'm having a conversation with my brother about his career. I'm pulling out his natal chart because he don't know it. I'm pulling out his natal chart and telling him why his emotions stink right now with regards to his career. Guess what? My brother's a Libra rising too. He also has Cancer in the 10th house. So he had an unexpected conversation with me that led to healing with regards to his career. I gave him some healing advice. I'm like, do you know that the reason why you hate your job right now is because this is what you're supposed to be doing? By the way, do you know that this is what you came here to do? Do you know that this is why you're having these challenges with these people? You came here to work on this, that, and the third. He was completely blown away. This is why I didn't get a whole lot of my book work done today, because I was doing that. I got a request to help others with their career today. I was like, wow, I guess this is my day. And then Cancer moon, new moon in Cancer. New moons we don't see. The new moon is dark, so we don't see what's going on. You get unexpected things. Now I'm like, I'm getting this request to help this. Hey, I need you to nurture these individuals in their career. Wow. This is why this conversation came up today and not yesterday or last week. Y'all, this stuff is, everything is divinely orchestrated. I tell y'all that all the time. Everything's divinely orchestrated. So if you're a 10th house Cancer, expect that. You probably expect the unexpected with regards to nurturing, perhaps healing, career, 10th house stuff. Now, as a 10th house Cancer, I also nurture on a public platform. What am I doing right here tonight? Y'all see how this stuff works? Here I am. I could have done this new moon video tomorrow. The new moon's not until tomorrow. In advance, I said I should probably do this the day before. Here I am on the eve of the new moon in Cancer, doing nurturing on a public platform. 10th house is the house of public. Career. YouTube is what I do right now. I'm writing a book. This book I'm writing is healing. This book I'm writing is about healing the public, all right? Nurturing. It's about the heart space energy. I cannot wait to share this book with you guys. This is the most excited I've been to write a book probably ever. I'm probably more excited with this one than I was with that one. That one right there. And that's my flagship. That's my baby right there. But this one, can't tell you about it yet, but the announcement will be coming very soon. So now, what intention should you be setting? Perhaps you should be setting an intention. If you have Cancer in the 10th house, perhaps you should be setting an intention to use that heart space energy in your career. Okay. Or maybe you want to do something with your family in your career. Maybe you want a family business. Maybe you want to plant a seed to start a family business. 10th house is career, right? 4th house is a house of home and family. Maybe some of y'all want to get into real estate. Okay. That could be real estate. Again, to me, is the 2nd house and the 4th house. Okay. Cancer and Taurus energy, real estate, both of those. Okay. Cancer deals more with a single individual home. Taurus is acquisition, land, multiple homes, office buildings. That's Taurus energy. Okay. So, maybe you want to set maybe some of you guys want to get into real estate. Maybe set that intention. Maybe you want to start a healing business. Maybe you want to start a business doing some type of work, some type of spiritual work. Cancer's all your water signs are spiritual. Maybe you want to start a spiritual business, a spiritual holistic business. Maybe you want to offer spiritual or healing or holistic services to the public. Set that intention. Set that intention. Maybe you want to expand your heart for what it is that you do, what it is that you offer to the public. The 10th house is also ruled by Capricorn. So maybe you want to open up your heart in such a way that opening your heart increases your ability to achieve. 10th house is ruled by Capricorn. So that's the energy of the achiever and the problem solver as well. So maybe you want to open your heart in such a way that opening your heart space, the expansion of your heart, the increase of your positive high vibrational emotions allows you to achieve and overcome. Okay? Solve problems in the way to success. That's Cancer in the 10th. Okay? 20505. If you have Cancer in the 11th house, that is the house of group activity, the house of humanitarianism. That's a great place to have Cancer. That is a great place to have the sign of Cancer, Cancer energy, humanitarianism. Okay. What else is the 11th house? The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus. So it is sudden, unexpected activity. Guess what? That's another one where you might get an unexpected opening of your heart chakra with this new moon in Cancer. And the 11th house ruling over things that are unexpected, sudden, unexpected events. Maybe you suddenly get your heart chakra broken wide open. If your heart chakra was closed, maybe that opens. That's a great thing to happen. Maybe it opens in such a way that you heal now. But maybe you want to set an intention to heal the collective, some group. Maybe if you have Cancer in the 11th house, maybe you're that person whose presence uplifts whatever group you go into. Whatever group you go into, that your emotions, the heart chakra energy that you give off uplifts that entire group. Okay? Set the intention to heal or to do something that opens up your heart chakra in a way that is outside of yourself. In a way that is outside of yourself. Okay? What else? That's Aquarian energy. So it is the energy of the rebel too. Maybe you want to set the intention to open to have this new moon energy over the next 6 months activate that rebel with a cause energy. The 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. That is all about going against the grain or going against the system for the right reason. And you're going to know what that is. You're going to know what that is. So with that Cancer in the 11th house, that is a heart for humanity, a heart for the greater collective, a heart for people outside of you. Maybe you also, with that Cancer in the 11th house, maybe the people in your groups are family to you. Maybe the people in your groups are family to you. So maybe what you want to do is you want to set the intention to expand and open up your heart to these groups that you're members of in such a way that they feel more like family. They feel more of your love. You feel more of their love. Okay, keep those emotions high. Keep those emotions high. Also, with this lunar transit, if those are people that you're not, if those are groups that you don't need to be a part of, guess what's going to happen? The Cancer claws are going to come out. The crab claws are going to come out, and as a part of your expanding that heart chakra, you're cutting away the things or the groups that don't serve you. That's part of it too, and that applies to all of the houses. If something is not serving you or keeping you, blocking you from expanding that heart chakra, expanding, increasing those emotions in a positive way, then that's going to fall away. Okay. So, yeah. So that also in that 11th house also deals with technology as well. It deals with innovation. So maybe there's something that you want to innovate or create that is going to help others to heal. You also, let me say this too. If you have Cancer in the 11th house, you have the ability to feel the energy of whatever groups you're in a way that others can't. You might also be affected by what's going on in the world today because that 11th house is about the greater collective humanitarianism. So you, of all people, definitely want to activate a greater heart chakra energy because you perhaps feel the pulse of the entire planet and the emotions of people and groups outside of yourself. So that is if you have, so set that intention, whatever it is, whatever it has to deal with outside of yourself, groups, collectives, humanitarianism. Perhaps you even want to include your family in some sort of group activities. 11th house rules over group activities, but you have the ability to heal. Maybe you want to heal. Maybe you want to do group sessions, group healing sessions. Set the intention. Cancerian energy is about empathy, it's about feeling, and then you transmute through absorption. So you're able to absorb the energy. If you listen, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how powerful you are real quick before I move on. Let me tell you how powerful you are if you have Cancer in the 11th house. The creator gave you the ability to absorb the energy of groups, perhaps even to absorb the energy of neighborhoods, cities, states, and countries. You are strong if you can do that. Not everybody's sponge is that big. You got a huge sponge. All right. So just activate or manifest or set the intention to just add to your healing capability. Okay. Because that also ultimately is going to help you to heal yourself. As we help others to heal, we get stronger. We feel weaker for a minute, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So you emerge from it even stronger. That's Cancer in the 11th. And finally, last but not least, Cancer in the 12th. Another powerful placement. You got Cancer in the position that is ruled by Pisces. So you have the ability to know what others are feeling as well as feel what others are feeling. That's a powerful placement. When you know what others are feeling and you can feel what others are feeling, it helps you to help people heal their minds, heal their subconsciousnesses. Okay. Yeah. So that is the energy of the empath in the house of the psychic. That's a powerful placement. That is a very powerful placement. That's for my Leo risings out there that don't have any intercepted houses. You have the ability to know what others are feeling as well as feel. That's a powerful placement. Okay. So that allows you to help them heal. Now, you may get, remember, y'all know what I say about that 12th house, what Matt's favorite theme of the 12th house is. That's the bridge between the physical and the spiritual realms. That's the bridge between the current life and past lives, as well as the afterlife. Okay. That is the bridge between heaven and earth. So you have a very special ability with Cancer in your 12th house. You literally are psychic. You're as psychic as a Scorpio in the 12th house or a Pisces in the 12th house. You are as psychic. That's a powerful placement. Okay. So you're going to get an expansion. You may with regards to things you don't see or things you don't see coming, you may get some communication or some feelings from the ancestral realm or from the angels or from the Most High himself. Okay. Especially if that's in 0 degrees. That's a story for another day. But that's a powerful placement. So you may get some unexpected, you may get some unexpected knowledge from the dreamscape when you go to sleep. The dream realm is managed by that 12th house bridge. The 12th house rules over dreams. Why? Because dreams connect us to another realm. The 12th house is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. So when you dream at night or when you astral travel, not that some people, I don't want to mistake astral travel with astral projection. Okay. All astral projection is astral travel, but not all astral travel is astral projection. Why are you saying that, Matt? When I hear astral projection, what I understand that to be is intentional. Hey, I'm going to leave my body and go to XYZ place. There are people that can do that. That's not something I do. I don't, I'm a little bit timid when it comes to that because I've heard some stories about it, but I hear other people that say, yeah, it ain't no big deal. I do it all the time. Nah. I started one year I was going to listen to a guided meditation. Okay, this is how you leave your, and then I'm like, no, thanks. I'm good. So shout out to anybody that does that. As long as you're doing it for the right reason, you ain't doing it for nothing nefarious. But anyway, so there's some people. I heard Ralph Smart one time in one of his videos. But for those of y'all who don't know who Ralph Smart is, he runs a channel called Infinite Waters, and he had a video one day where he said, "Oh yeah," he said, "I've gone to ancient Kemet. I do it all the time, deep divers." So it's to each his own. That ain't my cup of tea. If it's your cup of tea, drink that tea. That ain't my flavor of tea. So anyway, but astral travel, you astral travel when you do something like what happened with me months ago when I went to ancient Kemet spontaneously, and I'm speaking to this queen, and I'm in this. I literally jumped dimensions because I was me, but I had on Roman soldier garb, and I had a iPhone. Of the weirdest mashup. And I was sitting there wanting, it was so beautiful. I wanted to pull out my phone and record, but I'm like, what if they see me with that? And they're like, what you doing? Maybe I'll leave my phone inside my belt. Yeah. So I didn't pull it out, but that was a spontaneous astral trip. So sometimes, y'all, when you think you're dreaming, but you feel like you're there, that's you took an astral trip. You were literally in another realm doing something. Some of y'all are fighting crime in other realms. Some of y'all fighting the forces of evil in some other realms. Some of y'all are lovers in other realms. Just depends on what your soul, the higher self, decides that you need to go to when you close your eyes and go to sleep at night. Anyway, I spent a lot of time on that. Perhaps you get some unexpected dream or vision or astral trip that gives you some information that you need to bring back to this physical realm to do something with, whatever that might be. Okay. One of mine turned into a video that looks like it's playing out. It was a very prophetic video, and it looks like it's playing out. I mean, it was a very prophetic message, and that I received when I got to that astral plane, and it looks like it's playing out here in reality. Mind blowing. A lot of y'all heard that story. I'm not gonna go back down it, but it was the video I talked about when I went to Ancient Kemet or something. It was pretty cool. That was a live stream. So now, as far as your intention setting, perhaps you want to set an intention to, over the next 6 months, feel more or heal maybe some ancestral wounds. Remember, Cancer is the sign of the healer, it's the empath. So maybe you set the intention to heal ancestral wounds. You have that ability if you have Cancer in the 12th house. You have the ability to heal ancestral wounds. Okay. So maybe you want to set the intention to expand that. Maybe you want to set the intention to help people. Maybe you were some sort of counselor, or maybe you want to become a mental health counselor or something. The 12th house deals with mental health. Okay, so maybe you want to become a mental health counselor to help people heal. Why? Because you can already feel what they're feeling. You might be able to hone in and zero in better than the average school-trained psychiatrist or something like that. Because that school-trained psychiatrist, if he does not have your gifts, if he does not have your either gifts or your 12th house placement, he can't feel it like you can. So it just depends on what intentions you want to set for yourself. But Cancer is the empathic healer. So maybe you want to heal some ancestral wounds. Maybe you want to set the intention to heal some past life wounds of yours. Okay? Or maybe you want to get some spiritual downloads that help you to open your heart chakra and heal more. Heal at a more wider scale. Okay? Those are just some examples of what to do if you have Cancer in that 12th house. And remember, keep those vibrations high, because the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, which is ruled by Neptune, which is trickster / delusional energy when you're in low vibrational energy. So always when you're dealing with the 12th house, or you're dealing with Piscean placements or Neptunian placements, keep your vibrational frequency high, and you get the good and not the tricky or wishy-washy or think you're seeing one thing but it's something else. Okay. And I did not write down my timestamp for 12th house. I'll have to go back and watch that to see what the time marker is for the 12th house. But that's that. That's that Piscean energy. So maybe you also want to increase your psychic capability. Set that intention. 12th house Cancer, that's a very powerful placement as well. So that is all. That's all the houses, y'all. I am not going to deal with the 4th house. I told y'all that up front. Just pay attention to what sign you have in your 4th house, and set an intention with regards to your 4th house energy too. Okay. I'm a Capricorn in the 4th house, sitting opposite Cancer in the 10th. So that's that Libra balance thing. I'll be doing some intention setting with regards to career and problem solving, and maybe nurturing energy more in the career, all of that stuff. So you guys set whatever intentions have to deal with what you have in the 4th house, and what house you have Cancer in. All right. And based on that, based on whatever that timestamp is. That's all, family. I'm going to go through these. Thank you all for hanging out today. Thank you for sticking around. I'm going to go through the comments, and then I am going to get off of here, y'all. Thank you. All right. So Let me. I was trying to avoid these, but let me use this because now I can see. Let's see. Where was I? Okay. Bella, I don't know what you meant when you said basically. Oh, maybe you're talking about the food products. You said basically a carcinogen of sort. I think that's probably what you're talking about there. Oh yeah, that's what you're talking about. Everything tastes better in glass. Yep. They set us up with the artificial foods first. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Bernadette said that was one of my favorite videos you made, The Return of the Divine Feminine. Thank you again, Bernadette. Let's see. All right. You know what? I'm actually caught up on those. Let me go down. Let's see. Let's see. I saw that. Transhuman hermaphrodite. India and New Jersey. Hey Ali Rule. Means invincible. D Train. I saw that. Okay. Fair use is legendary. Thank you for joining here tonight. Sorry, I'm just now acknowledging you. Let's see. Okay, that was when I thought I was what's up, Nikki? I got secrets released in the house. Y'all check our channel out. Y'all, I hate these glasses. I'm just gonna be honest. They're a little foggy here. I don't wear glasses, but these readers, it's computer screen stuff in the phone. Otherwise, I'm fine. Secrets Release said I wrote my new moon manifestations down. I'm excited for this new moon in Cancer, as you should be. This is a powerful transit with it being conjunct Jupiter. Jupiter's only blowing it up. So thank you. Cancer in the second house just finished cooking. Accurate. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for adding that. Thank you for adding that. Oh, I see Gemini rising. Okay. Okay. I see you over there. I see you over there. Let's see. I got my son in the third house. That's good stuff. I love that, Nikki. I love it. My daughter's a Cancer moon and rising, and she's an amazing cook. I'm telling y'all, you can't make this stuff up. Your best cooks out there are Cancers and Tauruses. Sir Bierdito, about to head offline. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm sure you're probably missing me saying this now, but thank you for being here. Going to take into consideration with that heart chakra frequency since I had a draining day. Peace, my brother. Thank you. Peace to you. Nature sounds for relaxation. Let's see. 7 principles of Mayat. What's up, Angie's Memes? Thank you for being here tonight. What about Scorpio rising and Cancer in the 8th house? We covered that. We got to it. Maya reacts. Sorry, you're never late. You're never late because you can always go back and watch these on demand. Okay. MC Cancer in the 10th. That's me too. Stellium. Oh, thank you so much, Aparajita. Thank you. Red Jewel, I ain't seen you in a minute up in here. Thank you for joining, Red Jewel. I love my fellow Cancer moons. She said, Matt, does one have to be a high vibrational for their Cancer in the 12th house to be effective? You want it to. You really do. Because what happens again, you're going to have that empathy. What you feel doesn't lie to you. But what you can run up against is that 12th house is ruled by Neptune. And Neptune is that trickster energy if you're in low vibrational energy. Okay. So let me see. This is why I don't like to take them off because then it's like blurry after that. Let's see. Oh, that's a great question. Whoops. Oh, that's a great question, Bella, because if you're a negative, you would still have that ability in general. Yeah, you're going to have that empathy and you're going to be able to feel what they're feeling and absorb it. But again, that 12th house, when you're in low vibrational energy, your mind can play tricks on you. Okay. That's why you definitely want to stay high vibrational with Pisces placements and 12th house placements. Lady Dagger Status says, the first time I had an astral projection, I was really out of words. I wrote down everything in my dream book. That's a great thing to do, y'all. I hope y'all wrote down what she said. Get you a dream journal and keep it by the bedside. Dream journal or a tablet, something where you can wake up and record that dream, because y'all know what they say. They say within the first 5 to 10 minutes, you may start forgetting details. So yeah, definitely. Thank you for sharing that, Lady Dagger Status. She said another amazing live. Thank you so much for this. Good night, all. Thank you, Bernadette. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Tora Girl said, thank you as always. Thank you for being here, Tora Girl. Thank you. Red Jewel and Cancer in Taurus, we be in there. Cancers in Taurus, we be in there. Yep. Bella, you got double. You got double that energy with that Taurus sun and that Cancer moon. So that's all I got, family. Thank y'all for being here tonight. I hope that each and every one of you watching this video has found this video to be useful to you. It is so important right now. This is one of the most important lunar transits of the year. Why? Because the moon rules over our emotions, and emotions drive everything. They do. Emotions and hormones. Hormones on the physical end, emotions on the physical, on the energetic end. Those two things drive everything. Actually, hormones help drive your emotions too. That's why you want to be careful with some of this. Though, for those of you that eat meat, and you can't even run from it in plants anymore, because last I heard, Bill Gates and them and these people are trying to put whack scenes in vegetables. So they really just trying to do a dragnet and catch everybody. So y'all pray over your food. Pray over your food, activate over your food, set intention, put your food in water. If you're dealing with vegetables, when you wash those vegetables, just speak to the water and tell it what you want it to do. The water that you wash your vegetables in, that water is alive. For those of y'all that do not know, water is alive. So when you wash your food, I don't care if you eat meat. Plenty of people still eat meat. I still eat fish. I still eat turkey. I still eat lamb. Every now and then I might, if it's organic, pasture raised or whatever, and I got a off weird taste for it, I might eat a piece of beef. Okay. But I still eat meat, but I wash all my stuff, vegetables, meat, whatever. Listen, I'm giving y'all a pro tip. Water is alive. Earth is alive. Okay. Y'all know after I did that Reiki session on my friend who was in the hospital, I went outside, left outside of the hospital, went outside, found me some grass. I took my shoes off, and I went down on all 4 points, had my soles on the ground, and I put my palms on the ground, and I spoke to the earth and asked the earth to remove any negative energy that I absorbed during that Reiki session. And instantly I felt brand new. I felt like a plant that somebody watered instantly. Water is alive. All of the elements are alive. You can speak to the air, you can speak to the earth, you can speak to fire, and you can speak to water. And you can also speak to the ether. You speak to the ether when you pray and when your intention set. You're actually speaking to the ether. Those prayers are going into the ether. Those manifestations, those intentions are going into the ether. Okay? But remember Proverbs 26 and 27. For those of y'all out there on that, okay? Yeah, when they remember Proverbs 26 and 27, that's the catch. That's the universal catch-all. That's there to catch people that are trying to do and manifest wicked things against people. I ain't never heard of nobody manifest nothing wicked for themselves. So do you understand that? I said this in my last video. I'm gonna say it again. That instruction by the Messiah to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. The scriptures and religion only shows you the one side of that. There's a reason why he told them that. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because what you do unto others is going to be done to you. There's a cause and effect there. They don't teach you the other side of it. I wish they did, because then you would have people doing less foul things. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because as you do unto others, it will be done to you. That's why Proverbs 26 and 27 is universal law. That's why I cite that anytime I think I'm dealing with somebody, I call that word back to the Most High. I said, you said in Proverbs 26 and 27 that whoso diggeth the pit will fall in it, and he that rolled the stone is going to roll back on him. So I'm going to go on about my business, because I know your word can't lie. Try me if you want. You're going to fall in your own trap. All right? I just needed to say that for somebody, because somebody heard me say, hey, when you manifest and when your intention set, it goes into the ether. You can speak to the ether, because all 5 elements are alive and listening. Let me now bring it back to the water. Because of what they're doing with this food out here, they are not all powerful. But these elements are, because they are elements that are of the all powerful. So therefore, when you wash your food, be it meat or fruit or vegetables, place it into that water and speak to the water and tell that water what you want it to do to your food. And it will do it. It will do it, y'all. We have to learn how to command. We have to learn how to bring those priestly gifts back. Those are priestly gifts. A priest ain't a guy with a robe on officiating a church service. That's not a priest. The ancient priests and priestesses knew how to work with the elements and command them. All right? We're talking about water since this is a water moon. If you want your food to be healed before you put it in your body, put it in that water and speak to that water and say, water, please remove any impurities, anything that would harm my body that is in this food. Please remove it from my food. And then let it go down the drain and transmute it. Don't just wash it down for somebody else to pick it up. Please remove this from my food and then transmute it. Do you know that's why earth and water are complementary elements? Water nourishes the earth, and earth cleanses and purifies water. So when you speak to it, ask it to cleanse and purify your food. And then when you drain that, when you let that water out of that sink, ask that water to return to the earth to be cleansed, and then it will. And then it's going to eventually make its way back to the water supply purified. Start speaking to the elements. You want to heal your body? Go outside and plant your feet in the earth and ask the earth to remove any negative energy. Go grab a tree and ask that tree to remove that negative energy. That tree is already rooted and grounded in the earth. That tree will remove that negative energy and return it into the earth to be transmuted. Y'all, this stuff is powerful. It's even more powerful when you work with the element that matches your own moon sign. This is why I love to work with water, because I'm a water moon. If you're an earth moon, work with the earth. You can work with water too, because the moon itself is water, but it's going to be amplified when you match the element to the element that is in your natal moon sign, then you're maximizing the energy of the portal. That's for somebody. See, this is why you got to stick around to the end, because sometimes I get a download and I start teaching at the end. This is why you got to stick around to the end. All right? So that's for somebody, y'all. I don't know why that came through me, but it did. I'm just a vessel. So, let's see. Here I am again. That's that moon. That's that Cancer moon in the 10th house energy, being a healer and a nurturer. Man, I love y'all, man. If I didn't love y'all, I wouldn't be here doing this. I really do love y'all, because I know y'all love me back, and I do feel it. Let's see. Bella said, even WF, the food should be organic, often isn't. That is true. That is true, because they're often in close proximity to the same roads they spray. I know people that work in the food industry, and they've said, if you're buying something that is organic, depending on where you get it from, if you're getting it from a big chain, it's probably no more organic than the conventional. And they've said that. They said a lot of this stuff comes from the same farms. Now, if you're going to a farmer's market, you know what you're dealing with. Bella said, I was just at the beach yesterday, grounding and charging in the sand, unloading Cancer moon issues. Yo, that's a great place to do it. Just being at the beach, the energy of the salt and the water swirling, just being at the beach near the water's edge, those negative ions balance out the positive ions that are in your body. The positive ions are the ones that cause damage. The negative ions are the ones that heal. Now, y'all would hear positive and negative and think it should be the reverse. But watch this. The negative ions are feminine energy. The positive ions are masculine energy. I told y'all at the beginning of this broadcast, masculine energy does not heal. It's the feminine energy that heals. Feminine is a negative electron. Masculine is the positive proton. There's a time and place for everything. Positive energy does what it has to do, but then it's got to be healed and balanced out by negative energy. The electron is feminine. The proton is masculine. You got to have that balance, family. Men need women and women need men, period. Let's see. Lady Dagstad said, growing up, I stayed barefoot. I felt good and I didn't know anything about grounding. I think some of us naturally have that connection to earth and divine, and we wake up in due time to appreciate it. This is true, Lady Dagstad. You know, a lot of times, one of the things I noticed that I just do naturally without even thinking about it is sometimes I just sit on the floor. I can tell when I'm in a grounded building. Sometimes I sit on the floor. Sometimes in my office building, I go in there, close the door, and just take my shoes off because I know it's grounded, because I feel what happens when I take my shoes off inside the building. So I know that building is grounded. I take my shoes off and I'll close the door, and sometimes I'll lie down on my back just on the raw floor, because I feel it. It's almost like, even though I'm not moving and it's a hard floor, I can feel what it's doing in my spinal column with that energy. So yeah, grounding is so important. It is so important. Yeah. Things we don't even think about. Lady Dag status, I speak to my food. I pray no evil spirit preyed on that food or cooked around that food enters my body. I do not accept it. That's powerful. That is very powerful. Because energy transfers do take place through food. Some people heal through food. Some others make people sick through their food. And it's because you do not want to eat from somebody who hates cooking. You don't want to go to a restaurant and the cook's in the kitchen. Sometimes when I go to a restaurant, if I can see in the back, I'll be like, oh, okay, they look like they know what they're doing. Plus, I can feel them too, because I can go in a restaurant and feel when that's someplace whether I'm supposed to, when I can go in a restaurant and feel whether or not that is someplace I'm supposed to eat or not. I feel the energy. If the energy don't feel right, certain now I'm good. I'll turn around and walk right back out. I've done it on a number of occasions. I can feel it. That's one of the advantages of having that Cancer energy. Let's see. Hotshot said, so true. I still don't like wearing shoes, clothes either. It feels unnatural and uncomfortable to me. Yeah. Bella said, I thought it was just me that takes random trips to the water. Not so random. It's a healing trip. It is. Sis Star said, thank you. Your videos and lives are great. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Rare Jewel said, love you too. Thank you, Rare Jewel. Lady Daggerstatus said, I'm sure my neighbors think I'm crazy outside talking to the birds and trees. I do it all the time. Touching and singing to the plants. I do that all the time too, Lady Daggerstatus. All while barefoot. I also mimic my birds. I say my birds, but the birds in the trees in my yard. I mimic them, and we just go back and forth in the morning sometimes. I'll go out there, and they'll do or something like that, and I'll say and we just go back and forth. I'll play with them. I broke up a bird fight one time, y'all. I did. Real talk. Real talk. I don't know if I told y'all this story on here before, but I had two birds in my backyard, and I think they were sparrows. I'm not sure what the bird species was, but they flying at each other. Y'all seen two birds fighting before, and they were flying around, and they went in the tree and they fighting at each other. I said, hey, y'all stop that fighting. Stop fighting each other. Why y'all fighting? It ain't that serious, whatever it is. Both of them birds stopped and were looking at me. They stopped in that same tree, were looking at me from separate branches. I said, now y'all stop that fighting and learn how to get along. The first one flew away, and then the other one just sat there and looked at me for a little while longer, and he flew in the opposite direction. Intention, y'all. Intention leads to telepathy, which is more powerful than spoken language. That's more powerful than spoken language. And understanding intention leads to telepathy, and it can actually save you if you're in a place where you don't speak the language. People can feel your energy. Like, you speak it to them, they don't understand what you're saying. You may not understand what they're saying, but the intention is the rudimentary or the base form of telepathy. Intention. Said, please check your email. Let's see. She said, that was a beautiful live once again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bella laughing. She laughing. Oh my goodness. I watched squirrels fighting, and the one was hiding so scared, and I really felt he was staring at me. I spoke to it, said, I'm not going to say where you are. The mean one left. Wow. Y'all, it's crazy. It's crazy. Man, y'all really my tribe. I know that now. Okay, I got you. Hot shot. I will check it. Lady Dagstad said, wow, I'm glad to hear other people really do these things too. Yeah. Now I know y'all my tribe, man. I do. So listen, family, that's all I got. We're about at 2:30. We're just past the 2.5 hour mark at 2:38. So I'm gonna cut it off here. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Listen, if you haven't done so, on your way out, please hit that like button. Make sure that you and if you're new to the channel and you like being entertained, educated, uplifted, and inspired, set that hit that subscribe button and set that notification bell to all so that you'll be notified when I upload new content. Okay. And before I get off here, I'll do it like I always do. Oh, thank you so much, Hotshot. I'll do it like I always do. Tell somebody you love them and mean it. How do you mean it? You got to show it. Love is best experienced when it's felt. Love is best experienced when it's felt. You can tell it to me, but I prefer to feel it. It's best. And I'm not saying sometimes I'll feel it if you say it. Okay. I'm not saying that you can't say it, but what I'm saying is love needs to be backed up with action. Okay. And if you want more love, you got to be the love that you want. Okay. The noun, everybody wants the noun form of love, but when you take care of the verb, the noun always takes care of itself. Show love and there'll be love, right? And I know I said that differently than I normally do. I just want to switch it up on y'all. Um, she said, have a wonderful sleep, peace, and light, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. Last but not least, y'all, remember this. The only way you're going to arrive at your destiny is 100% authenticity. I work on it every day. Knowing your natal chart can help you to be authentic. Knowing my natal chart has helped me so much, y'all, these past, I won't even say these past couple of years. I've been studying my natal chart for a while, but y'all, even these last 6 to 9 months has been huge for me, because every time I feel like I hit some discomfort or something like that, I go back and look at my natal chart and I'm like, Matt, you're running into this hiccup because you're not operating in the authenticity of this area of life where you're feeling discomfort that is in this particular house on your chart, or that applies to this particular planet. If you want success, you got to stay in the energy that is this planet and this house, or that's this house in your natal chart. And y'all, I've been making quantum leaps in my energy. I've been making quantum leaps in my energy. I've been noticing going out more, people staring, and I'm like, why are they staring? But even my dad told me last time he saw me, he said, son, he said, you got a glow on you. I was like, oh, well, I was out in the sun, and he's like, no, that's not what I'm talking about. He said it's something different. It's just me being intentional about staying true to my own energy. You came here with an instruction manual. Don't let anybody tell you different. Your natal chart is your instruction manual. So if you want to fast track to authenticity, understand your natal chart and make sure you stay in the energy that matches that particular area of life for you. All of these planets rule over different things, and all of these houses rule over different areas of life. If you stay true to your chart, you cannot fail. You will be authentic. If you move opposite of what your sign is in a particular house or particular planet, look, I'm a Mercury in Sagittarius. I got to use a big voice. I'm a third house Sagittarius. I got to use a big voice. I'm not going to arrive at my authenticity if I'm being sheepish and, well, I better not say anything. I don't want to make anybody upset. Better not say anything. They might get mad at me. Nah, F that. I'm going to be authentic to myself. I'm going to stay true. Stay true to yourself, and you're going to get to your destiny, family. Learn your natal chart. That's all I got, family. I love y'all. Take care. Peace. Be well. I will see y'all again this weekend. I'm not going to go live again this week unless the situation calls for it. Something happens and I need to go live, or I'm directed by the spirit to go live. I'll go live again this week. Otherwise, I will see you guys this weekend. Thank you. Y'all have a blessed, peaceful rest tonight. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace, family. Thank y'all for being here tonight.